Aloha kakayaka. Good morning, everybody, and on this pleasant Monday from the Larry H. Miller Field here in Provo, Utah, on the campus of Brigham Young University, we're proud to bring you this presentation of the UHSAA Baseball Playoffs here on KSL Sports Rewind. Today, we kick off the opening round with this matchup between the Davis Darts and the Corner Canyon Chargers. And if the voices sound different, well, you probably know why, folks. Alexander Timlip and Ty Wilkinson filling in here for Dusty Litzter this year. And Ty, I turn to you. First thing I say is before we even begin with the introduction of this opening round, we take the time to reflect and remember our friend Dusty Litzter, who has been doing this for the better part of his last 19 years doing Rewind. This will be the first time he's not doing the baseball games this year, but today we're thinking about him.
And Dusty, as we know, has made a huge impact on just this Rewind that we've done for, gosh, we've done this for close to a year now, Alex, and, you know, we thank him. He's the reason that we're here today, and we're, you know, commentating these baseball games for the greater good of high school sports, and, you know, we can't thank him enough, and we wish him well in his recovery more than anything.
Yes, we certainly do. We're thinking about Dusty today, and we'll think about him all week. We are wearing wristbands, of course, if people didn't notice on our Rewind Instagram page and Rewind Twitter page. We're wearing wristbands to honor Dusty, and we are very proud to be here this afternoon. So, Ty, I turn to you. The first thing I say is, with all that aside, let's get to the baseball side of things. And this tournament, this really is an interesting tournament because there is plenty of experience, especially on the coaching side.
Plenty of experience as well as, you know, interesting formalities that happened. I mean, Corner Canyon had to win a series 2-1 just to get to the point that they were at, including Davis. They got the sweep, so it was pretty much easy for them. But the interesting formality tonight is going to have to be is how is this weather going to pay, you know, more dividends to the game and, you know, its result more than anything, right? I mean, you take a day where it hasn't rained in however long and however many weeks, and all of a sudden Mother Nature decided to dump a little bit of rain on us tonight, to say the least.
Yeah, 52 degrees with wind coming out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. It's let up for right now, so definitely that will be an interesting thing. And Ty, we should also point out that this is going to be a very interesting next couple of days because there is a lot of talent up and down these rosters, especially today with Corner Canyon and Davis. Especially these Region 3 teams are extremely dangerous.
Coaches have plenty of experience. The players do as well. You have young teams. You have, you know, veterans that are seniors now that are about to be graduating soon, going on to play at the collegiate level. I don't know. It's just going to be a stacked lineup. It's just going to become, you know, punch for punch, hit for hit. It's going to be coming down mainly to the pitching game. I feel like tonight is how can, you know, pitching for either side, you know, give at least a little bit of leeway into, you know, this stacked lineup, because it feels like everyone in this tournament is batting at least 300, it feels like.
And especially with the weather today, Ty, defense will also be the name of the game. Lots of rain on the field today, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the ball bounces.
Short hops to infield are probably going to be at least not as bouncy as it would be for regular turf, but neither of these two teams and anyone in the tournament playing tonight is used to playing on turf. So honestly, the ground balls could go either way. It's 50-50 for the infielders.
And it sure is well, that's the whole thing for the field. The whole field is 50-50 right now. Everybody's 0-0 until they lose 2 games to kick off this tournament. We're set to go. The Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA playoffs is presented by Heidemann and Associates, the team that's been assembled to win for you, the client. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and we'll have first pitch and the national anthem. You're watching the 6A baseball tournament on your home for the UHSAA championships, KSL Sports Rewind.
Well, thank you for your cooperation as we enjoy today's ball. Now, introducing the starting lineups.
Before we get to everything, it's time to start with the starting lineups, of course presented by the team that has been assembled to win for you, the client. Let's start with the Corner Canyon Chargers, leading off number 11, Garrett Downing. Second will be Ryder Florence. Cash Conkar third. Cleanup is Nathan Horseman. Andrew Nice will be batting fifth. Cannon Cotterall, Jack Munson, Drew Watcott, 6, 7, 8, and rounding out the order for the Chargers, and Jeff Urey will be number 27, the DH, Tanner McKay. And on the other side for the Davis Darts, seventh-year coach Josh Godfrey put out this lineup. Pitcher Caleb Weaver leads off. Owen Talbot, center field, bats second. Wally Grant who was leaned on heavily, 2 for 4 in game 2 on Thursday. He'll bat third. Max Hunter, the shortstop, will bat cleanup. Jackson Marble fifth. Carter Garrett sixth. Knight, Jax, Jarman. Carter Knight, Gavin Jax, Seth Jarman, 7, 8, 9. Round out the order.
Carter Garrett. Designated hitter number 9, Carter Knight. The catcher number 12, Gavin Jax. In left field, number 4, Seth Jarman. And at second base, number 2, Brennan Olson. Head coach of the Darks, Mr. Josh Guthrie. Our officials on the seventh game behind the plate, Mr. Ryan Hansen. On the first base line, Mr. Dylan Hampton. And on the third base line, Mr. Scott.
So we are ready to go here this morning. We all rise now for the national anthem. Here's public address announcer Paul Binns.
Let's play ball.
Yes, indeed, let us play ball. And as we said, very bittersweet for us. Alexander Timok joined by Ty Wilkinson here in the broadcast booth, filling in, of course, for Dusty Litster. Weather report, as we're looking at the official weather forecast here for the National Weather Service next to Provo Municipal Airport right now. It says, as of right now, 10:35 in the morning, 50 degrees at first pitch with intermittent rain showers. It's let up for right now. Humidity 76%, and the wind, Ty, has just shifted. It's east-southeast now at 6 miles per hour. Remember, about 30 minutes ago, it was blowing, or about an hour ago, it was blowing to the north-northwest. It was blowing that way. Now it's going the other direction, and that's going to cause a little bit of trouble here for the outfielders.
It will, for sure. And, you know, you talk about that wind transition. One helps the pitcher. Now it's going to help the hitter more than anything. And once again, that, I guess, more so the advantage kind of goes to the outfielders, I guess, in a technical sense, because now they're able to understand how the wind can track the ball more so. But those deep flyouts could go either way, it feels like, going into center field more than anything.
So Ty, you've been here. You've been in these situations before. As a pitcher, what does the weather kind of do? Because I always hear from John Smoltz, who's a color commentator on Fox for baseball. He always used to say that humidity helps the pitchers. Is that true, or is that really a thing that they made up?
You know what? You know, it's interesting. So whenever I did a pitching way back when, however long ago, I felt like humidity definitely did help, because typically you would manage to get at least a better grip on the baseball more so. I mean, I obviously didn't play in a league where I would throw change-ups or, you know, curveballs of anything. I think everything was basically a change-up at my speed anyways, for that matter. But, you know, I would say going from a pitcher, yes, moisturizer in the air definitely does help, just because, once again, you get that grip. You obviously can't use sticky stuff in a league, so I guess you kind of make do with what you have with, you know, that moisturizing helping the ball.
I guess so, but that's a biased pitcher's perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Into the leadoff box steps Garrett Downing as we are set to go here from Miller Park. Facing Caleb Weaver. Weaver kicks and deals, and the first pitch of the entire baseball playoffs is swung on and missed for strike one. And that's the last bit of absolute knowledge we're going to know for at least the next 4 days. 0-1 pitch on the way is also cut on a miss, 0-2.
Couple of good fastballs down and away in the corner. He's kind of just blowing it by him. Gets an early 0-2 count, and if you're a pitcher, this is exactly the position you want to be in.
Oh, 2 pitch. Got him! Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Caleb Weaver. What a start.
Ryder Florence.
And there's one gone here in the top of the first. That'll bring up the shortstop, Ryder Florence.
You talk about a good start for Davis. I mean, pitching has pretty much been the name of the game, not only in the start of this tournament, but now coming into playing Corner Canyon in this round.
First pitch bounces up to the plate for a ball. 1-0. Pitch, also up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Florence this year, 1 home run, 2 triples, 7 doubles, 13 runs batted in. As that pitch is cut on and missed for strike 1. He's also made appearances pitching this year. He's 1-0 with 7 strikeouts. He's ahead in the count right now, 2-1 with 1 out here in the top of the first. Next pitch is hit down the line, foul.
First contact swing Corner Canyon has had so far in this inning. Just right behind, but these fastballs are just blowing by him, it feels like.
That's inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count.
You can tell he's got a content approach, though. Coming into the batter's box, facing a full count.
3-2 pitch is fouled off to the right and over us.
Please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
Next pitch. He struck him out. Drop third strike. They will not be able to. They tag him though. And there's 2 gone. 2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Caleb Weaver. And that'll bring up Cash Conchard, the second baseman now.
And if you're Caleb Weaver, you got to be in a pretty comfortable position. Already 2 strikeouts in the top of the lineup for Corner Canyon. And more so than not, Alex, coming into this game as a pitcher, you get a full count. That's more of a stressful factor, but he managed to hand it really well.
That one goes down and away. And Florence is also one of the best hitters for the Chargers this year as well. I mean, I just listed off his stats. The two triples and the 7 doubles along with the home run. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one is high and inside 2-0.
Davis not playing with a really big shift either. You can see a massive gap in close to the middle side.
That one is turned to the left side and into just behind the bullpen over there, foul.
Please return all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
I mean, Alex, just look at that gap in the middle infield.
And you also have a shift over to the left side as well in the outfield. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is cut on and missed, strike 2. A lot of swinging strikes here for Caleb Weaver here early on. He struck out 2 so far. Can he clear the side with 3 Ks? 2-2 pitch. He struck him out! And Weaver is fired up as he exits the field. Every right he should be, as that will clear the side here in the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and Davis sets Corner Canyon down in order by striking out the side. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this word from the Salt Lake Running Company on the Rewind Sports Network with Davis coming back. Back here at Miller Park, Alexander Tumulip alongside Ty Wilkinson for the opening round of the 2024 6A baseball playoffs. Our coverage today, of course, presented by Heidemann and Associates, the winning team that's been assembled to win for you, the client. Call in today, 801-754-4240, or visit them online at utah.law to get your free consultation with them, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. On a 50-degree day with rain showers here in Provo, Utah. Again, a day, of course, where we're cognizant of our friend Dusty Litster, who we're sure is watching Of course, we have Michael Goodkind and Vince Francis on camera over at UVU for the 5A playoffs. We have a loaded week coming up for you here on the Rewind Sports Network. 60 games in the next 6 days.
Well, we're going to be busy, aren't we?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yep.
Leading off the darts.
Caleb Weaver will lead off here in the bottom of the first inning. He who struck out the side in the first inning.
And Alex, you want to talk about a 5-tool player in Caleb Weaver. I mean, guy who can pitch. He's 10-1 on the year with a 2.14 ERA. And I mean, leading off for his team, Davis, who is ranked second in Utah here in 6A. I mean, you can't really do it much better than that, right?
Well, only if he gets a base hit here, then it would be much more effective. First pitch on the way is cut on and missed, strike one. I rest my case.
Yep. I mean, a guy who's batting .357 in the lineup, 56 hits on the year, 26 RBIs. I mean, give a more content approach. Normally, you don't get a bunch of pitcher-hitter combos.
That one bounces up to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's facing Jacob Trost, who is 5-1 this year with 37 strikeouts for the Corner Canyon Chargers. So number one against number one, you have to say, for the pitching matchup. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and this one is thrown behind Caleb Weaver. 2 balls and a strike.
And you notice how he's wiping down his hand. I think he got a little bit too much of a, kind of like a slender. I mean, in the pitcher position, it gets a little bit interesting whenever you try to mix up your pitches. And including with the rain added onto that, can make it a little bit more difficult to throw.
That one is just off the corner, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Weaver has 8 doubles on the season, 10 RBIs. 3-1 pitch from Trost is right down the heart of the plate, and the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Okay, so now if you're Weaver, you've seen a few pitches already. You know what you like. We'll see if he decides to pull the trigger on a 3-2 count.
Full count offering on the way. This one is fouled right to the netting on the backstop. All 3 strikeouts, or all 3 outs in this game so far have been strikeouts. There are 42 total outs in a high school baseball game. We go 7 innings. The first 3 have been strikeouts. Will we see 4? No. And Weaver draws the leadoff walk to begin proceedings for Davis here in the bottom of the first inning.
And you see Trost is continuing to wipe down his hand on his pants. I don't think he's liking the way he's getting a grip. At least in the pitches that he's thrown. He's had a couple, little bit over the top to the backstop and a couple on the outside. So
pinch runner now out at first base is number 6, Tyson Baggett, whose brother Easton, of course, played on the football team. And into the box now steps Owen Talbot, the center fielder. Runner on, bottom of the first, no score. Trost, quick throw to first, and Baggett's back in. Talbot, two triples, 6 doubles, 23 runs batted in this year. As this pitch is thrown behind him, 1 ball, no strikes.
he went slider, and I think it kind of got a little bit away from him, Alex.
Second time we've seen that. First few outs as the fans start to file in right in front of us here at Miller Field. Of course, it's raining, so most of them are underneath the tarp here as that pitch is popped up on the infield, heading into right. Coming in and making the catch is the right fielder Munson, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the first.
Now the number 21, Wally Grant.
So that gives Trost a little bit more comfort, at least in leeway, getting that fly out, especially with Caleb Weaver having a pretty half-decent lead over there at first base.
That'll bring up Wally Grant, the first baseman, who was 2 for 4 in Game 2 with 2 doubles on Friday, as he skies this one into left. This one's heading into foul territory. There's 3 blue shirts coming over, and it is caught by Nathan Horseman. What a play. And just like that, there are 2 gone, and that's a major BB dodge there by the Chargers.
Including for, again, I keep bringing up Jacob Trost because I keep noticing that he just keeps going to his hand, wiping it constantly, just trying to get at least a better grip that he wants to try to get on the ball. But the only issue is the contact that's going to be applied by Davis. But fortunately for him, both have just been high in the zone, and they get chasing and on the top.
Max Hunter up to the plate now as this pitch is outside. Good block by the catcher. Cannon Cotterall back there. So after the leadoff walk, a pop-up and then a foul out. And there are quickly 2 gone here in the bottom half of the first inning. Trost has a look back at the runner. Now the pitch is chopped on the ground, foul. Max Hunter this year, 1 triple, 10 doubles, and 30 runs batted in. He's also made several appearances as a pitcher. He's yet to record a decision, but he does have 6 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one is inside off the corner, 2-1.
He's getting really close to those righties, Alex, whenever he's pitching on the inside.
Baggett to his lead over at first. 2-1 the count, 2 out. Kicks and fires. This one is grounded to short. 2 hops, throw over to first, in time, and that ends the inning. So in the bottom of the first, Davis leaves a runner on after getting the leadoff walk, and they cannot advance it any further. We've played 1 complete inning. We have no score. We'll be back after this word from Odeon here on the Rewind Sports Network. Back here on the Rewind Sports Network, Alexander Timolp alongside Ty Wilkinson here in the broadcast booth here at Miller Field. No score here as we begin the top half of the second inning. Caleb Weaver set down the Corner Canyon Chargers in order, striking out the side. And after drawing a leadoff walk, Weaver was not able to be advanced past first base as Jacob Trost set down the Darts in order after that. As the rain starts to pick up again here at Miller Field.
Well, they got the lights on for us tonight, Alex. I shouldn't say tonight. We're in the middle afternoon, so probably going into the evening, they're going to be on pretty much all day.
We're not even in the afternoon yet. Try in the morning.
Yeah.
We're in the late morning here as Nathan Horseman, the cleanup man, will come to the plate here for Corner Canyon. Against Caleb Weaver, first pitch on the way is down low, ball 1.
Reminder, Weaver is just a sophomore playing in his second year with the Davis Darts. And I mean, already maintaining a 10-1 record just pitching in a 2.44 ERA. I mean, you're facing guys that are, 2 years older than you, and you're still doing it at this age.
That one is high. That one is high and away. 3 balls and no strikes. And just thinking about how experienced some of these players are. I mean, we talked about it off the top. I mean, just so much experience up and down the lineup as that one is in there for a called strike at the letters. I mean, that's really impressive in and of itself to be a sophomore and to be 10-1. 3-1 pitch on the way from Weaver is down low and away, ball 4, and the Corner Canyon Chargers start off the top of the second with a leadoff walk.
It's good for Corner Canyon to get their first base runner, too.
They still have not put a ball in play yet, which I think is interesting. As Andrew Nice now steps up to the plate, the first baseman. Weaver has a look back at first, comes set. First pitch. That one is right down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
Well, I love the way that Corner Canyon's lineup is formatted, Alex, having Nice be the 5th batter for Corner Canyon because he's second right now in RBIs in his team.
Quick throw back to first. They did not get the runner.
Good to have that incentive that you can kind of have that, backup cleanup, I guess is what you want to call it.
It must be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Must be Alex Nice.
I just had to say it. Here's the 0-1. This one is hit in the air, going to the left side, and that is going into the road back there, foul. So 2 strikes now the count. By the way, any ball that hits the roof today at Miller Field or anytime throughout the week at UCCU Ballpark will be queued for our Any Hour Services Random Roof Realities. We're hoping we'll at least get one here this afternoon. Or today, anyway. Here's the 0-2. This one is ripped into right field on a base hit. Rounding second on his way to third is Horseman. He'll cruise in there unmolested. And Corner Canyon has them cornered now with one out, with nobody out here in the top half of the second inning.
Well, what were we telling you, Alex? Alex Nice is the guy that you want when you at least have a leadoff on first.
Must be nice.
Yep, and now you got
Must be Andrew Nice.
Now you got guys at the corners.
So that'll bring up Cannon Cotterall. So how about that? Corner Canyon, the 10 seed, able to get some traffic here against Caleb Weaver here early on. Infield comes in to the left side. This one is a sacrifice safety squeeze attempt up the first baseline. It goes foul.
I mean, usually when you try to bunt, you want to try to be at least a little bit more discreet whenever he did. He was already in the windup by the time that the bat was already going.
Yeah, the third baseman, Jackson Marble, was already encroaching down here on the left side of us, and now he's going again with a squeeze attempt. Quick throw to first. Back in is the runner.
So now what this does, Alex, is the third base side, there won't be a pickoff attempt necessarily, especially for a righty pitcher, and he can't really tag up just in this bunting position. Look how close he's coming in.
This one goes outside. Did he go? No, he did not. And the count goes even 1-1. Runners at the corners. Nobody out here. Top of the second inning. Corner Canyon threatening to break the seal here on this wet and cold day here in Provo.
Alex, I want you to watch how far he comes in. Watch.
Yeah, Marble's halfway down the line, and it's fouled again off to the right side. And now you got to think on a 1-2 count here, Ty. You're going to be swinging here.
I would say so, too. So now you'll probably see him back off a little bit. I guess a bunt is technically still in question.
At least a safety squeeze up that first base line like they've been trying to do.
Yep.
But Cotterall is swinging here on 1 and 2.
I was going to say, you see he's a lot more content now, just down that third base line. But Weaver's really trying to keep his runners in check right now. He just keeps throwing back to first. That's the second time he's thrown back.
Weaver has a look at third this time. Now the pitch. He struck him out. Foul tip right into the glove of the catcher. Fourth strikeout already, and that's a biggie for Caleb Weaver. And there's one gone here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the right fielder, Jack Munson, another lefty. Standing on deck is Drew Watcott, the left fielder. Time called by the home plate umpire. Runners at the corners, one out, and you have to assume Davis will be in a double play depth here on the right side of the infield. Jackson Marble, the third baseman on our left side, is cheating more so toward home plate. Weaver comes set. Quick throw to first. That's close. They got him.
Wow.
How about that? Caleb Weaver comes off the mound, and just like that, there were two down. First pitch to Munson. He did not go. It was high and away, 1 ball, no strikes.
Going back to that play, Alex, you could see they were targeting him like more often than not at the first base line. They finally just managed to get him in a great throw by Weaver to the first base side to apply the tag. And now the double play is theoretically out of question, just because of obviously 2 outs, but I feel like as a pitcher that relieves your stress because now you just have to focus on the third base line.
2-0 pitch. This one is a base hit to center. That will score the run. Munson, aggressive turn. And the Corner Canyon Chargers do break the seal here in the top of the second. They lead 1-0.
Well, remember when we said earlier in the first inning, Alex, that Davis has a massive middle infield that was completely open? Punched right to that area.
So here's Drew Watcott now with 2 out here at the top of the second inning. First pitch. Tried to safety squeeze his way on. Instead, that's a strike. Interesting call. But then again, what do I know? I'm not a coach. I'm just sitting up here in the booth behind the microphone. What do I know about the game of baseball? I'm just here calling it. Says a lot about my experience. I don't know if I could ever be a coach at the. I don't know if I could ever play baseball, though, honestly.
You don't think so?
No, I think I'm better suited to being the guy that's talking behind the microphone as Weaver throws again over quickly to first, and back in is Munson.
I feel like you'd do just fine as a base coach. You know, just wave your arm and just tell the runner to go. Unless you're in calculus and you know what the dimensions are, if he needs to go or not.
Don't know what the heck that's supposed to mean.
Yep.
That's sitting there for a strike. 1-0 here, top of the second inning. 1 run, 2 hits home so far here for the Corner Canyon Chargers. On the RBI single by Jack Munson. 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. Throw down to second. That's going to get into center field. And Munson's going to try for third, and he's going to get there. That's going to be a stolen base and an error on the catcher.
Gavin Jacks kind of just threw it more so to the right side. I think he was more concerned about the velocity more so than the accuracy.
So once again, runner at third. 1-2 pitch. Got him. And again, Weaver gets out of the jam, but 1 run does score on 2 base hits with 1 error. And a runner is left on third. We go to the bottom of the second inning with the score 1-0 Corner Canyon. Back after this. Well, the Corner Canyon Chargers break the seal here in the top half of the second inning as we head to the bottom half of the inning now. 1-0 our score on the RBI single by Jack Munson. This followed, of course, a strikeout and then a pickoff by Caleb Weaver. Weaver still has 5 strikeouts. He's set down 5 via the strikeout here of the 8 batters he's faced. But Ty, a lot of good contact and a lot of traffic caused by the Corner Canyon Chargers in that second inning.
Agreed. The biggest thing that I noticed is the aggressiveness on the base path more than anything. I mean, we saw it multiple times that Weaver tried to keep picking off and picking off. He got about 4 attempts in before he could actually get anyone, but the aggressive base running, courtesy of Corner Canyon, is applying it into the way that they've been able to, get the 1 run that they had. And I mean, the first to third run obviously was a really big factor into, kind of just getting into Weaver's head a little bit.
That'll bring up Jackson Marble to start the bottom half of the second inning for the Davis Starts. 5, 6, 7 in the order. Against Jacob Trost. First pitch on the way is on the inside part of the plate. First strike. You can definitely tell, folks, by the way Ty and I are talking, we are definitely excited to be back doing games again. It's been a while as that ball is down low, 1 ball, 1 strike.
It has been a while, hasn't it, Alex?
I think it's been since November we've done a game together.
Yeah.
But that was on a football field, and it was with the Corner Canyon Chargers as the home team. This one's downstairs for a ball 2-1. How poetic. Well, poetic or a curse, whatever you want to call it. Most people would say it's a curse, but but you'd say it was poetic. This one is ripped down the line foul as Marble was out in front of that one, and the count goes 2-2.
Please return all foul balls from your side.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no out here. Bottom half of the second inning, 1-0 in favor of the Corner Canyon Chargers. Our first game of 4 today here at Miller Field. Jacob Trost 2-2 pitch is chopped foul up the right side off the fists. So we'll do it again.
So Davis is definitely getting contact on the ball. Not exactly in the trajectory that you would want it to normally be, but it's good to get the, swinging contact to try to get in the pitcher's mind a little bit as you face a 2-2 count.
That one just grazes him and almost hit him. Now the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of full count, a lot of deep pitch counts here early on, you have to say, though, for Jacob Trost. He threw 14 in that first inning. As this one is tip foul to the backstop, and he's already hit 20 here.
That's
1+.
That's a good full count pitch, too. You notice Trost, he's pitching a lot inside. You can tell the slider isn't exactly working for him in the way that you would typically want it to. And I think if he can kind of try to aim at least a little bit more left, at least from his perspective, you can get these 3-2 counts to go at least a little bit better on the slider pitch.
This one is fouled off to the right, out of Miller Park, into Helaman Halls.
Wonder how that insurance claim works, Alex, with Helaman Halls and BYU baseball.
I wonder how the insurance policy works with the UVX buses if it hits that a couple times. That one goes outside, ball 4.
At the plate, number 22, Carter Garrett.
So I'll bring up Carter Garrett now, the right fielder. As for the second consecutive inning, the leadoff walk puts a runner on first. For the Davis Darts. Darts still have no hits through 1+ inning as the throw comes back in quickly to first.
Well, it's the base on ball attribute, too, Alex. I mean it's... walks getting base runners is always a good thing.
I mean, and the other thing is, too, as Trost comes down with his first pitch, bunt on, and this is tip foul to the backstop, is I was talking with Rich Hill, the Hawaii baseball coach, the other day. He said his coaching philosophy, so interesting, is always on winning the little things war. He calls it winning. I don't remember what the war was called. I got to look it up. I know it wasn't a world war because he wasn't involved in any of that. But as Trost brings down his next pitch, it's caught on a miss, strike 2. But that's what it comes down to, is limiting your mistakes through pitching and then taking advantage of the other team's mistakes through pitching and fielding and whatnot. And that's what Corner Canyon's doing early, you have to say.
Well, games have been won, Alex, when teams don't get hits. I mean, we saw the Pittsburgh Pirates earlier this season.
This one's a fly ball into left, not very far. Coming in a couple of steps and making the catch is the left fielder Drew Watcott, and there's one gone here in the bottom half of the second.
At the plate, number 9.
Davis having a lot of flyouts here early in the first 2 innings in their hitting. I think they've had 3 so far today, Alex, and it just gives Corner Canyon such an easy defensive perspective in the outfield as well as, middle infield as well.
That'll bring up Carter Knight, the designated hitter. First pitch to him on the way is just a little high there. One ball, no strikes.
That was a good pitch, too. That was a changeup. Off speed.
One on the count. Next pitch is high and away, 2-0. Runner on first, 1 out here in the bottom half of the second inning. Davis still hitless through 1 1/3. This one is hit to the right side. That's a base hit. Right through the gap. As the throw comes back in quickly. And the first base hit of the ball game for the Davis Darts. And their first RISP and opportunity of the morning here. I almost said afternoon. Comes with 1 out.
Now hitting number 12, Gavin Jacks.
That was a great running play by Carter Knight, by the way, to avoid. Normally, as a runner on first base, you hear swinging contact, and you kind of just run. He was kind of just watching it the entire way because, as you know, if you get hit, you're out because you're in play.
Here is a high pop-up, and that is going back onto, almost hit the roof, but it comes over the net and bounces in front of the portal over here.
Well, we're getting closer to that rooftop ringer, aren't we?
You would think so. I think we're more likely to get hit by one because our windows are open over here. And the draft's coming in.
I'm not paying that insurance if the window gets broken.
No, I am not either. I'm with you on that one. 1 strike the count, 1 out. And Trost brings it down. This one is hit in the air, coming over to the dugout on the right side. That also is going to get into the stands and bounce up off the umbrella over there, one of the fans. Runner on first and second with one out here, bottom of the second. 2 strikes the count. As Davis threatening to answer back.
Well, notice too, Alex, it's Davis's bottom of the lineup that's doing at least a little bit of damages on the base path right now. I mean, 2 runners on, 1 out. And I mean, we're getting ready to get back up to the top of the lineup with Caleb Weaver again.
Yeah, 9 and then 1 will be coming up. It'll be Seth Jarman, the left fielder, 9, and then Weaver 1, the pitcher, coming up to turn over the lineup card here.
Goes to show the depth that we were talking about earlier today that these teams just have.
0-2 count. Here's the pitch. That's high and inside. Good waste pitch there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first and second. 1 out. On this wet and cold day here in Provo, Utah at Miller Field. Trost doesn't look back at second. A 1-2 pitch. He struck him out. Caught him staring at a slider right down the heart of the plate.
Now plate number 4, Seth.
And that's a biggie because that's 2 out now. And here comes Seth Jarman, the left fielder.
That was a beautiful off-speed pitch to get him, too. Got him looking. Felt like I could have written an essay by the time that reached the plate.
That's what you call freezing the man. Not literally, because of course it is cold. Here's the first pitch to Jarman. This one is hit to the right side. On 2 hops, picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first, they're not going to get him. Now the throw back to second, and now they have the runner and a rundown. Runner coming home now.
You got 2 guys at second and third.
A whole circus. And the throw back to second. Got him! Wow! Well, we're gonna need to figure out how to score all that when we come back. No. Well, we hope you're all awake now. We hope you got your morning coffee. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson, top of the third inning, 1-0 in favor of Corner Canyon. If you want to score that, we're going to take you through it all on that putout. It was 4-3, but the base runner was safe because the throw pulled him off the bag. It was 4-3, then back to 4 to try and get the putout. Then the runner took off for third. They couldn't get him, and then they went back to home. So that's 4-3, 4-2. And then went back to 6 for the tag, and then the putout. Did I get that right?
I think so. You missed one more. The tag was on 4, so it was back to 4 after 6.
Whatever it was.
You talk about full circle.
I mean, around the horn, took to a whole new level. I mean, that was insanity. That one is inside 2 balls and no strikes. As we play the top of the third inning here, Alexander Timolip, Ty Wilkinson, Josh Dodge filling in on the camera for Wilson Gustafson today. And, of course, Josh will also be filling in on color for Wilson in the second game of the day, coming up in a little bit between Fremont and Mountain Ridge. And that is going to be a pretty good one to watch. 3-0 count to the DH, Tanner Mackey, and he draws a 4-pitch walk to start off the top of the third. Already the third walk issued by Caleb Weaver.
You know, Weaver had a comfortable first inning with those 3 strikeouts. Kind of starting to dwindle in the pitches a little bit. You can see his grip is kind of getting a little bit away from him as he's getting these off-speed pitches on the outside.
Quick throw back into first.
And I mean, credit where it's due to fooling the runner, because he has a ton of pickoff attempts just in these first few innings.
Yeah, we've counted, at least 5 or 6, Ty, as his first pitch is just a little high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Downing 0 for 1 with the strikeout to kick off proceedings here this morning. Was set down on 3 pitches. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. That one is right at the thighs. Strike one.
And, the more depth that you go into this Corner Canyon lineup, I mean, obviously, you get those first strikeouts, but as a hitter, when you're facing that same pitcher, you kind of get a reference for the pitches that you're going to like.
And Ty, I think that's kind of one of the things as a pitcher you kind of look at almost as from a perspective of a pitcher, is that you try to get in the hitter's head by throwing all these kinds of off-speed pitches. As the 1-1 pitch comes down, high and inside 2-1.
It's also for the head coach to kind of signal to both catcher and pitcher of the type of pitch to throw, because if you understand, based off of scattering reports, someone's not the best at a certain pitch, you want to obviously, work that in the best way you can.
That changeup's down and in. 3 balls and a strike. So Caleb Weaver all of a sudden not able to find the strike zone. He's thrown 7 of his 8 pitches for balls.
And so a hitter's count here now.
Yeah, and much more dangerous now. As that pitch is right there and the count goes full.
It's a good comeback pitch, too. It's a slider. It just hit barely probably the bottom right corner of the strike zone.
I wonder if we could ever have the technology one of these days that ESPN has, the K-Zone.
You wonder? Probably not at the high school level.
Well, obviously probably not at the high school level, Ty, because, you have to pay a lot of money for that.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's bloody expensive. Like most other things are these days, but then again, it's always been that way. 3-2 pitch. That one is foul to the left and out of play.
Oh, they gave him. Looks like it hit the catcher's glove.
Oh, yeah, they are going to give it to him. It looks like catcher's interference was called. So that's going to put the runner on as Josh Godfrey is trying to get the explanation from the home plate umpire. So here comes Ryder Florence, and now 2 on with nobody out. So Corner Canyon making things a little bit interesting here at the start of this one, as we're almost halfway through here in this one.
This is a good righty versus righty matchup here, too, with no outs.
And the best hitter, too, for Corner Canyon, Ryder Florence. This one is right there on the corner for a strike. Florence was also set down on strikes to begin this one. Was one of the 3 strikeout victims for Caleb Weaver in that first inning. Runner on first, runner on second. Look back in the pitch. Good block at the plate on that outside, low and away by Gavin Jacks.
Davis is playing a really interesting shift right now in their infield, where you kind of have the second baseman right in between the first and second base path. Then you pull your shortstop a little bit closer right behind second, leaving a really good gap right for that right-handed batter. You see that gap right there, Alex.
This one is inside. 2 balls and a strike.
I'm just kind of interested because I think they're going to try to apply the tag on third to prevent another run. But the only issue with that is now you're giving that shortstop so much room to cover.
He's almost on an island out there. Look back at second, 2-1 pitch. This one is chopped back to the pitcher. 1-6. They will not get the runner at first. They will also not get the runner at third. So on the fielder's choice score at 1-6. And there are runners at the corners now with 1 out.
So now the double play ball is going to be an option. So I'm curious to see how they want to play the third base option.
And that'll bring up Cash Conchar, now the second baseman. He too struck out in the first inning. Corner Canyon so far, runners in scoring position today, 1 for 3. It was all in the second inning. Another opportunity here. First pitch is right at the knees, strike 1. Weather's cleared up a bit here, and it's also starting to become a little bit lighter. It's not as cloudy and overcast as it was, but the wind is still blowing out of the east-southeast now at 13. And it's still 50 degrees. So that throw is low on the check throw back to first.
Keeping track, Alex. That's his 7th pickoff attempt.
Are you sure that's 7? I think it's 8.
It's 7. I've been counting. Don't worry. You got your statistician over here, who hasn't taken a single stats class, by the way.
Yeah, you're a statistician, but who said you were a good one?
Yeah, you know. They pay me by the hour, Alex.
That's true. They pay all of us by the hour. We don't get paid enough for this crud. Ball goes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 1 out. Just trying to have fun, folks. That's all we're trying to do. 1-1 pitch. This one is fisted foul up the right side. And the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes here. Weaver could really use another strikeout. He's already got 5. As he's trying to keep this thing within as reasonable striking distance as possible for his offense. So both teams trying to effectively wake up here. One-two pitch, throw back in, does not get the runner, and we're going to try it again.
So according to you, that's 9. For me, that's 8.
Flip that the other way around.
All right.
Because now you're confusing me.
Yeah. He's about to get a baker's dozen, though. I'll say that.
Right. Now that one is dropped by the catcher, Jax. That'll allow the run to score from third base. And put another run on the board for Corner Canyon. And they now lead 2-0. I would assume that's going to be scored a passed ball, allowing the runner to score.
Well, this is good for Corner Canyon because not only do you get the run in, now you get a guy in scoring position as well.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Runner moves up to second. On the passed ball, 2-2 pitch. Kick and deal, and that's outside and low. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Keep an eye, too, Alex. The shift that Davis has, it's just kind of all over the place. I mean, shortstop is now between second and third. Third baseman is pretty much hugging that foul line. Second base is keeping content.
This one is poked off the end of the bat into right field. 3 guys over there, and the catch is made by the second baseman out there. And that will Brenner Olson, and that makes it 2 out here.
26, Nathan Horseman.
As Nathan Horseman now will come up to bat. There's an arm up in the bullpen right now for Davis, a left-hander, number 13, Spencer Cannon. As Caleb Weaver just tries to get out of this inning without any further damage. Already 1 run home on the passed ball. This one's outside and low.
And Weaver hasn't had a bad inning, Alex. I mean, 5 strikeouts. It's just the ones that kind of just get away from him that have kind of paid contribution to the score in the way that it is.
Yeah, you had the error, and then you had the pass ball, and it's really why the 2 runs scored, other than the single, as the home plate umpire called time.
Little Tiger Woods action.
It was very late, too, because Horseman had his hand up for a long time to the home plate umpire before he finally saw it. Surprised it took that long. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This one is hit down the line, foul. Look out. That's going into the road. That hits University Parkway. Or no, it just falls short of University Parkway. It hit the fence and came back in.
Yeah, watch out, pedestrians.
Yeah, definitely a hazard because that sucker could come over there at any time. It actually has hit a couple of UVX buses. This is cut on and missed into the catcher's glove. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So now if you're Weaver, you got to feel at least a little bit more comfortable. You're ahead in the count. 2 outs, you got a runner on second. I feel like an off-speed pitch is coming right here, Alex, because that's been pretty much in his arsenal of weaponry for his strikeouts.
1-2. High and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I stand corrected.
Yes, you do stand corrected. You went with the cheddar that time, and he didn't bite. But I think this is where you probably throw the off-speed, if I'm being honest. Just throw it low and inside right at his feet. Runner on second, 2-2. Grounded foul up the left side.
Well, he called it. It was inside of the strike zone, down and away, though. Once again, right toward the knees, and I think that's...
It's kind of more down in the middle of the plate.
Well, luckily for Nathan, that's his sweet spot, as he's been able to, can fire such a good batting average over the course of this year. I mean, he's batting .420.
Where, of course, of the number of Dan Uggla, former Florida Marlins and Atlanta Braves second baseman. As this one is high, and once again the count goes full. I just had to throw my Braves in there, by the way. Not that the Twins aren't also relevant at this point, which they aren't, but what do I know?
Start of the season, Alex.
That's true. That one is outside low, ball 4. That's the third walk issued by Caleb Weaver in this inning. And once again, traffic. Runners on first and second with 2 out. As Spencer Cannon continues to loosen up in the Davis bullpen.
And Alex Hostron, that's known for his hacks. Don't count out his base on ball percentage, too, because he's pretty up there in the list of people in Corner Canyon. That's one of the best.
That brings up Andrew Nice to the plate with a single in the second inning. As Weaver will step off the mound.
Weaver right now just trying to prevent the bases loaded opportunity that Corner Canyon is confiring right now, it looks like.
That one is down low, 2 balls and no strikes. So all of a sudden, Weaver struggling with his command and now struggling with his control as well. Throwing a lot of pitches here in this third inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Runner back at second, throw over to first, and the first baseman was way off the bag. Well, it looked like Weaver had settled in for the better part of the first inning plus, but over the last 2 2/3, you'd have to say it's been all, or inning and 2/3, it's been all Corner Canyon. 2-0 pitch. That one's outside, and now it's 3-0. And with Cannon Cotterall, the catcher, on deck, 1 pitch away from loading the bags.
This is the count Andrew Nice wants, too.
3-0 pitch, and he fouls that one. And I believe that has hit the roof behind us. That has hit the roof behind us. It's a 3-1 count, so that means it's time for one of our random roof realities presented by Any Hour Services. After this pitch, of course, 3-1 on the way coming from Caleb Weaver, and this is fouled over to the right. Look out! That one hit right off the coach in the dugout. But it didn't look like Jeff Urey even flinched. He just stood there and took it.
Respect to the no helmet
Goodness.
either.
I mean, that was a laser beam that came right at Jeff Urey in the dugout. He didn't even flinch. 3-1 pitch, 3-2 pitch. He struck him out. And a huge strikeout for Weaver to get out of the inning. The Corner Canyon Chargers, though, do get 1 run in on no base hits on the pass ball. And they leave a runner on first and second. We'll be back after this word from Mountain Land Outfitters with the Chargers up 2-0. Back here on the Rewind Sports Network, Alexander Tumulip alongside Ty Wilkinson. 2-0. Our score is Corner Canyon. The 10 seed leads the Davis Darts. It's time for our random roof reality presented by Any Hour Services as the foul ball hit the roof on that last sequence. So, Ty, what do you got for us this time?
Yeah, Alex, a little fun fact. The average Major League Baseball lasts between 7 to 5 pitches, dependent on if it goes in the dirt or obviously gets fouled off. And considering that we're playing on turf tonight, that ratio is decreased by 50%, believe it or not. So an average MLB game goes through 120 different baseballs, but if you're playing on turf like in Toronto, that ball will only last to about 60. Isn't that interesting?
That is really cool. I didn't know that there was an average number of game balls that Major League Baseball goes through, because you always assume they have an unlimited number.
Well, of course they have an unlimited number, Alex. That's just the average that they go through. So they could go through, theoretically, 156, depending on how many foul balls are hit. But the average is 120, and that's reduced due to playing on turf, as we're doing tonight.
That is really interesting how that actually works, as that's down low and away ball one. I would venture to guess. I would ask you, Ty, though, how many balls have we gone through in this first 2 innings plus?
It's a good question.
This has gone low 2-0.
There's been a lot of out of play hits today. Just I don't know. It's mainly off the bat of Davis, at least that I've noticed. It's been up and away into the stands or the bleachers, into the parking lot.
That one is hit on a line and a base hit into left. Past the diving shortstop, Florence. And on the 2-0 count, Caleb Weaver is aboard with a leadoff single.
I guess they must have heard me.
Well, you also have to take into account, Ty, as Baggett will go out to replace Weaver there at first as the pinch runner. We've been talking about it. Davis has been getting some good contact on the pitches. I mean, it's not like these have been like garden variety type contacts.
Not exactly, but still. I mean, as long as you're getting the barrel on the ball and getting the contact that you're looking for, you just kind of let the pitcher, deal his hand for whatever he's going to offer you. And you kind of have to adapt to whatever he gives you.
Off-speed pitch comes in for a strike from Jacob Trost. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the third. 0-1 pitch is just a little inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Great call by the umpires so far tonight.
That's not something you say very often.
Yeah. Especially since Major League Baseball is trying to do away with them, dude.
That one is fouled off to the right, and that hits the roof again. So, Ty, Alexander Timberlake, by the way, Ty Wilkinson, the two voices you're listening to. Ty, what else you got?
Let's see. Let me go into my notes.
Your millions of notes
Yep.
you made. Well, it'll have to wait after this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Runner goes off, and the pitch hits Owen Talbot. And so there's runners on first and second.
Okay, Alex, you ready for this one?
All right, shoot.
So a recent trend that's been coming back now is the 9-9-9 challenge. They say 9 dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings. So that trend has recently come back.
I've heard of this,
It
yes!
started back in 2011, and it has since recently come back. Obviously, we're playing in high school in, Provo, Utah, so I'm assuming, 9-9-9 is kind of out of the question.
Well, you could still do 9 root beers or 9 Cokes. I guess
depends if you want a heart attack in the 3rd or the 5th inning.
This is a check throw down to second. They will not get him. It looked like it was there, but Baggett got back in just ahead of the throw.
They are selling Cougar Tails tonight, Alex, so maybe you want to do 9-9-9 with the Cougar Tail.
Oh, geez. Now you're really talking not only a sugar rush, but a heart attack times 3,000. I mean, I don't know if I could even eat one. Here's another bunt attempt. This is a perfect one right down in front of the plate. And the throw goes over the head of the first baseman. That'll go with a run. Here comes the second runner. Throw to the plate. They will not get him. Slides in ahead of the throw. And the Davis starts have tied the game. Just like that. That'll go down as an error on the pitcher. How quickly things have changed here. Here in the bottom of the third.
I thought Cannon Cotterall had applied the tag to Weaver originally, but Cotterall ended up having to be in a diving effort just to get him at home.
Was not the greatest throw, kind of up the line on him. And the tag was actually behind him rather than in front of him, as this one is grounded to short. Great stop by Florence. Throw to first in time. What a play. That, meanwhile, will advance the runner to third on the 6-3 put out by Ryder Florence. Good job saving a hit on that sharply hit ground ball by Max Hunter, the shortstop. So one shortstop grounds out to the other, and there's one out.
Great play by Max, by the way. I mean, we've already mentioned it multiple times that the rain is dampening the turf, which makes the ground balls a lot more difficult. He played that one like a champ.
Infield comes in for this one. First pitch is up high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 runs, 1 base hit, 1 error here in the bottom of the third for the Darts.
And Alex, it looks like they're trying to prevent the run from going to home.
There goes a ball into right center field. That's going to be big time trouble. 1 run will score. That's going to get all the way to the fence. Rounding second, on his way to third, and sliding in without a throw. And getting there is Carter Knight. An RBI triple, and Davis goes on top for the first time this afternoon.
At plate number 22, Carter Garrett.
That's Jackson Marble. Pardon my error. Jackson Marble credited with the RBI triple. And Jeff Urey, the head coach for Corner Canyon, is out of the dugout and on his way to the mound. There's nobody up in the CC bullpen right now, so I would assume this is just a mound visit to get his starter settled down. And it's a good time to remind you that the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA baseball playoffs continues tomorrow. Join me and Ty again for 4 more games starting at 11 a.m. Mountain tomorrow. We'll start with 2 elimination games and then the 2 second-round winners bracket games for the right to advance to the semifinals. Three runs, 2 hits, 1 error. 2 runs scored on the error by the pitcher Jacob Trost, and then an RBI triple by Jackson Marble. And the Davis Darts have finally found their footing. They're up 3-2 here in the bottom half of the third.
It was only a matter of time before they started exploding too, Alex.
First pitch coming from Trost is lifted in the air to left. Coming in and making the catch is the left fielder, Drew Watcott. The runner will not attempt to tag and score, so hold the runner at third. And there's now 2 out on the F7.
And if you're the left fielder, Drew Watcott, that's exactly the play that you want. You get a short fly out closer inside of the diamond. And, I mean, you've already got the footing, so if you need to throw home when you need to.
That brings up Carter Knight, the designated hitter. First pitch on the way. Did he go? No, he did not. 1 ball, no strikes. Three runs, 2 hits, 1 error in this half of the inning for the Davis Darts. That next pitch is fouled off the fists. As we're looking down to our left, the Mountain Ridge Sentinels are making their way into Miller Field. As our cameraman Josh Dodge pans over, there they are down there. They'll be in our second game against the Fremont Silverwolves. Coming up around 1:30 Mountain or so, or maybe just after 2 o'clock. Depends on when this game ends. 1-1 pitch. That one is down low. 2 balls and a strike. Jackson Marble is the runner at third, coming off his RBI triple. 2-1 pitch. That one is right there at the knee, strike 2. And Jacob Trost could really use his strikeout to get out of this pickle that he's in right now.
You can tell his frustration is brewing right now. He's just trying to get out of this as fast as possible.
Will he? Not quite yet. Fouled off the foot of Carter Knight. Gavin Jacks, the catcher, is the one that stands on deck.
As a hitter, Alex, for Carter Knight, hitting right at the edge of that knob of the bat. Those things hurt, dude. And it's cold weather today, too. Batting gloves can only do so much just based off of the force and the inertia that's coming off of that bat.
2-2 pitch. Caught you looking. And Jacob Trost does get out of the jam as they hold the runner at third, but 2 runs score in the inning, or 3 runs rather score in the inning on 2 base hits with 1 error, and a runner is left on third. We head to the top of the 4th with the Davis Starts leading 3-2. Back after this. Back here on the Rewind Sports Network, Alexander Smilip and Ty Wilkinson, and our coverage today is presented by, of course, the good folks at Heidemann and Associates, the winning team that's been assembled to win for you, the client. Call them today, 801-754-4240. Or contact them online at utah.law for your free consultation with them, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. Well, Ty, been an interesting first 3 full innings here at Miller Park in this first game of the day. It seems that it's not so much the infielders and the outfielders that have had to worry about their defensive stances so far. It's the batteries that have been the problem so far. All 5 runs have been scored because of errors by both respective pitchers and catcher duos.
And I think that comes with the playoff nerve that they're playing with, Alex. I mean, both teams are more than happy to want to advance, but the actual journey in getting to said position kind of causes you to make at least a little bit thought processes and, errors in your mind that you don't exactly think you would usually commit. And, I mean, routine plays that start to become a little bit less more routine.
Well, our cameraman down here, Josh Dodge, who will be filling in for Wilson Gustafson on color coming up in our second game, said it is getting warmer. It actually is. By 1 degree.
1 degree.
Down at the Provo Municipal Airport. 51 degrees is now the temperature, but the wind's still coming out of the south at 10 miles per hour, so it's not being felt here at Miller Field right now, but it was kind of breezy earlier coming the other direction off of Y Mountain. As we're in a bit of a delay here. Wonder what this is all about. Because we got Davis coach Josh Godfrey in the white shirt down there, meeting with the umpires. Now here comes Trent Allred. And it looks like they're on the phone.
I wonder if they're getting a rules analyst on the phone for.
Yeah, because Gavin Jacks is coming over. I think what it is he's having an issue with his pitch comm, because he just took his earpiece out of his pitch comm, so he's having a bit of an issue with it electronically. So we may be having a bit of electronics issues here, because Trent Allred is out there with the umpires right now.
You talk about a game that's evolved, Alex, turning into the pitch comm rather than, giving your standard pitch or signal from the catcher. It looks like they got everything pretty much squared away and figured out.
Well, now here comes Trent Allred. He's walking over to Jeff Urey, the head coach of Corner Canyon, and I think he's going to give him the explanation of what was happening. So I think for now they're going to... It looks like Davis is just going to try to rough it right now with traditional signals.
That could play a factor, too, for these batters.
And you have to remember, too, like these players were warming up for almost an hour in the rain. And so electronics and water don't exactly have a good mix together. And so it kind of makes sense that, maybe there is a bit of an issue with the pitch comms for both the batteries, because it stands to reason that you've been out in the rain for quite a while and you don't have any chance to cover up the battery box.
Well, unfortunately for our viewing, Alex, we can't tell if the pitcher or the catcher is giving signals to.
Yep.
Yeah, to Weaver.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going to try to rough it as this one is driven in the air to right, down the line, and coming over to his left and making the catch is Garrett Carter. Carter Garrett, 1 pitch, 1 out in the top of the 4th.
Now hitting number 14, Jack Munson.
So here comes Jack Munson, whose RBI single led all the talking off today in the top half of the second inning. First pitch to him from Weaver is down low and in, 1 ball, no strikes. The Fremont Silverwolves are also coming in to our right. Next pitch from Weaver is right at the knees on the outside corner for a strike. One pitch. This one is hit on the ground on 2 hops to short. Throw over to first is in time, and just like that, there are 2 gone. 6-3 score the putout.
It's a beautiful routine play there by Max Hunter.
And done such on a wet field, too.
Well, shortstops are really showing out today. They got 2.
Yeah, Ryder Florence with a web gem over at short, and then Max Hunter there with the good pick on the 2-hopper. That'll bring up Drew Walcott, the left fielder. First pitch is right down the heart of the plate of the letters for a strike. Alexander Tumlip, Ty Wilkinson, top of the 4th inning here at Miller Park. 3-2 favor of Davis in our first opening round game of this 6A baseball tournament. Davis defeating Farmington in a 2-game sweep of the Super Regionals. Corner Canyon upsetting Skyridge to get here by a 2-1 line, as that one is up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Weaver trying to get a clean inning for the first time since the first inning. Against Drew Watcott. 2-2 pitch. Just a little bit low. Jax tried to frame it, but the umpire wasn't having it. And the count goes full.
It's a good time to mention, too, Alex. These teams haven't matched up yet this season. This is their first time they're meeting. Just so happens to be in the playoffs. That happens to be actually a scenario for most of the teams playing in 6A is, you're playing them for the first time.
This one is hit in the air to right, but right at the right fielder. Garrett makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Ty will finish that thought when we come back from this commercial break as the Corner Canyon Chargers go Ekahi Elua Aloha set down in order in the top of the 4th inning with the Davis Darts remaining up 3-2. Back after this word from Igloo on the Rewind Sports Network. Back here at the Larry H. Miller Field at BYU. Alexander Tumlip alongside our broadcast partner Ty Wilkinson for the Rewind Sports Network and our coverage of the opening round of the 2024 UHSAA 6A baseball tournament. 2C Davis Darts trailed early, but they now lead 3-2 in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Ty, you were going to finish your thought earlier on what you were saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, these teams coming into today, it's obviously a single elimination game. And, of course, there's, the loser's bracket. It's a whole system. But what's interesting to me is these teams have not played against each other in 6A just during the regular season so far. And now you're starting a tournament. No one pretty much knows. I mean, obviously, you can watch as much film as necessary, but realistically, if you haven't played against each other, you could kind of consider that to be a disadvantage for both teams because you don't exactly know what to expect coming into this game.
Right, because the meetings between 6A teams during the regular season are so few and far between, especially in region play, where you play each other twice, or play each other once rather, and then of course, and then you play the big team. I mean, the big teams, they match up maybe once in a blue moon. I mean, we have Riverton American Fork leading off the season. As this is popped up, this one better look out. And this is going to fall just short of the roof. It comes right in front of us into the 3rd row. I mean, we've already had two random roof realities. I just realized we didn't get the second one in because it was a 1-2 count, as that one goes high and inside, ties. So
I think we did. Alex, the 999.
No, you know what? The 999 challenge. I think we did. Yes.
Don't worry, I got plenty more throughout the night. We got a long way to go, buddy.
That terrifies me. That one hits Gavin Jax on the thigh, and once again, the leadoff runner's on base here for the Davis Darts, as Gavin Jacks will be replaced by another pinch runner here.
I mean, you're the one terrified. Imagine getting hit by that pitch. He walked it off like a champ. It would take us like a week to recover.
Well, at least it wasn't a fastball. Strider Prowse is the pinch runner at first base now for the Davis Darts. And Seth Jarman, the number 9 hitter in the order, 8-9-1, by the way, is the order to lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Darts. First pitch is a bunt dropped in front of home plate. This time a cleaner pickup and throw to first, so the sacrifice works. And advances the runner to second base, and there's one out. Score at 1-3.
I think that's a good move, too.
Now hitting number 5, Caleb Weaver.
And you got to think that was a better pickup by Jacob Trost, because that first one he threw was about 5 feet over the head of the first baseman.
Well, this is good news for Davis, too, because now you got the top of the lineup now coming. I mean, you got Weaver batting first, and then you go down the order from there. And I mean, if you already got a runner at second with only one out, you got to be in pretty good contention with your pitcher right now.
Caleb Weaver, 6 strikeouts on the afternoon. First pitch to him is high and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Runner on second is Strider Prowse, the pinch runner. Davis today, runners in scoring position, technically 0 for 2. The pass ball that scored 2, or the error that scored 2 runs, does not go down as a base hit. So technically, Davis is 0 for 2. Corner Canyon 1 for 5 RASP, as this one is inside on the hands, 2-0.
You think Corner Canyon might consider putting someone in the bullpen anytime soon? I mean, we're getting close to halfway through the game.
Yeah, but
Actually,
I don't
just
see
about.
any. Yeah, but I don't see anybody on our right hand side in the bullpen at the moment. Davis has 2 arms up in the bullpen. This one is fouled right back to the screen.
Coach has got a lot of trust.
But the other thing too, Ty, is a 10 seed. I mean, what the heck do you have to lose?
Also true.
I mean, you and I know that as well as anybody. I mean, like in 6A, anything can happen. I mean, a 10 seed beating a 2 is not out of the realm of possibility, especially if it's a Region 2 against a Region 1 team. Is this is high inside, 3 balls and a strike?
Well, I think because it's such a close game, you would want to try to, deal in some of your other knower name pitchers as well. Try to get the bullpen in there. I mean, it's only a 1-run game. This game is by no means in favor, it feels like, of Davis other than 1 run.
Yeah, but it does feel like the momentum has clearly shifted in the last couple of innings, as that one is on the corner. Trost doesn't get the call, ball 4. And just like that, there are runners on first and second now, as we are going to have a quick mound visit with the catcher and the defense and all that staff meeting and all that jazz. It's a good time to remind you that the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of the UHSAA 5A baseball playoffs continues today and tomorrow. Join Michael Goodkind and Matt Kama all week from UVU, leading up to the 5A finals and championships with me and Ty Friday and Saturday. KSL Sports Rewind is proud to be the home of this week's Spring Sports Championships.
I'd like
runner on first and second. Owen Talbot now stands in. Sorry, Ty.
You're good, no worries. I was going to say this is kind of good news for Corner Canyon to get runners on first and third. It opens up your options for the force out, especially with only 1 out on the scoreboard.
1 strike the count now on Owen Talbot. Strider Prowse, the pinch runner, at first. Caleb Weaver at second. And the powerful Wally Grant stands on deck. He who was 2 for 4 with 2 doubles in Game 2 against Farmington last week on Friday. 0-1 pitch. He swings and misses that one. Strike 2. Good pitch. Hold the string on him with the changeup.
Good outside of the zone pitch, dude.
2 strikes, 2 runners, 1 out. Jacob Trost trying to work out of this jam and keep this deficit right where it is for his offense. 0-2 pitch. He struck him out. And that's a biggie. There are 2 gone now, and here comes Wally Grant.
And we just talked about having trust in your pitchers. That's how you earn it right there, is getting those strikeouts. Especially in the big moments, too. You got 2 base runners knocking on the door of scoring position. And as we mentioned, Alex, this game is by no means over, even close to, for that matter.
Any 6A game is not close to being over in any inning. Put it that way. That pitch is on the corner for a strike.
All right. If you say so.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, am I wrong? I mean, you and I have done enough games together to know that in any game that we do is never over till it's done.
Also true.
I mean, come on. You and I have done how many games together, and I've been doing this for how many years now? 3 years almost, as that pitch is outside the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I matched right there with you with 3 years of commentary experience. Not exactly with you. We managed to find our ropes, though, in our commentary, to say the least.
Thank goodness for that. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't find our ropes.
Yeah, it took the first 2 games, though, I will say.
Well, in your mind, at least, anyway.
Yeah.
That one was just a little outside and low 2-1.
Don't mind me showing up late, like quite literally before kickoff the first game.
That's right. I do remember you
Yep.
did that. I do remember you came. I remember you showed up like just mere seconds before we were supposed to go on the air between Timpanogos and Mountain View was the first game we did together.
Indeed,
and you
it
showed
was.
Up like, and you showed up like literally right before kickoff as that pitch is in there for a strike.
It's the behind-the-scenes thing that I think people don't exactly recognize with us. That's a rather...
Recognize with us. I think you're talking about yourself there, buddy, not me. I mean, I'm always an hour and a half early.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've kind of learned my lesson, I guess, over the years, considering I had to take public transportation.
Well, this one is fouled off to the backstop. That is true. We have had to take public transportation quite a few times.
Correct. Anyways, back to baseball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuce is wild. Jacob Trost trying to get out of this inning. 2-2 pitch is fouled once again to the backstop. Make it the 8th pitch of the AB coming up here. Trost has gone 3 2/3 innings, given up 3 runs, 3 hits. 2 of them unearned. He has 3 strikeouts, though, trying to get a 4th and get him out of this jam.
Well, this is the guy you want if you're Davis in the big moments.
The 2-2 pitch just misses the outside corner, 3-2. And I mean just missed the outside.
Corner Canyon fans expressing their disapproval for that one. But I think the calls have been pretty straight on point tonight, Alex, behind the home plate.
Yeah, they have been close. A lot of them have been close, but for the most part, they've gotten them right. Anyway, here's the payoff. Runners go. He struck him out! Jacob Trost does get out of the jam. And so ends the inning.
No hits, no errors.
No runs, no hits, no errors. And they left 2 runners on base, did the Davis Darts. We head to the top half of the 5th. The Darts lead 3-2 on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, Jacob Trost doing what he can to hold the Corner Canyon Chargers in the game right now, down 3-2 in the top of the 5th. Alexander Timulip alongside Ty Wilkinson for the opening game of the 6A baseball playoffs. The opening round. Of course, our coverage presented by Heidemann and Associates, the team that's been assembled to win for you, the client. And our coverage today also brought to you by Any Hour Services, proud sponsor of our random roof realities, of which there have been 2. And of course, Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered through all seasons.
Leading off from Chargers, number 27, Tanner McKay.
9-1-2 to lead off the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Tanner McKay to lead off against Caleb Weaver. I almost said Jared Weaver, as that one is down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, Alex, we should first go back to the 4th inning that was both scoreless. I mean, the pitcher duel just between Caleb Weaver and Jacob Trost has just been, an awe-inspiring thing to watch tonight.
And like we said, Ty, it seems that outside of the RBI triple by Jackson Marble, all the runs have come because of errors by the pitcher-catcher duos. As the 1-1 pitch comes down, it's high and outside 2-1.
Again, comes with the nerve of the tournament.
which is why I would rather be sitting here rather than on the field. I don't know what I would be doing with myself. 2-1 pitch. This one is hit high in the air, not very far, to center field, right on the middle of the Y. And coming in a couple steps, making the catch is Owen Talbot, the center fielder, and just like that, there's one gone in the top of the fifth.
Tell you what, the outfielders tonight have been pretty busy with the flyouts. I mean, obviously that triple that was hit as well. I mean, they're getting their leg work in, I'll say that. Not as much as the infielders.
One out here in the top half of the fifth. That first pitch is just a little inside there to the top of the order, Garrett Downing, the center fielder. Weaver 6 strikeouts so far to his ledger this afternoon. 1-0 pitch. That's right there down the knees for a strike. Coming up after this game will be Fremont and Mountain Ridge. Reminder, over on Channel 1 right now with Michael Goodkind is Maple Mountain and Murray as that ball is fouled back to the backstop to the right. The first of 10 games today on the Rewind Sports Network. 8 baseball games and 2 soccer games as that one is swung on and missed for a strikeout. I think that's 7 strikeouts for Caleb Weaver.
At plate number 2, Ryder.
As Ryder Florence now steps up to the plate.
And I mean, we go back to, Caleb Weaver having those miscues in the second and third inning. He's kind of honed himself back. I mean, entering into this fifth.
Example A. Right on cue, strike 1.
And I mean, once again, just goes to show how good of a pitcher he is. I mean, a 10-1 record. I mean, what else can you do as a sophomore?
This one is chopped to third. On a couple of hops, picked up, long throw to first in time, and that ends the inning. So the Davis Darts come out defensively, and they set down the Chargers. Ekahi Elua Aloha in the 5th inning, and we head to the bottom of the 5th with the score remaining 3-2 on the Rewind Sports Network. Back here on the Rewind Sports Network, Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson. The bottom of the 5th inning here at Miller Park, 3-2. Our score in favor of the 2-seed Davis Darts. The Darts were behind early, but they have since struck back. And Ty, we talked about how the pitchers and catchers were really responsible for giving up the runs because of their errors. It seems like outside of that, Caleb Weaver is settling in quite nicely with 7 strikeouts.
Yeah, 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. No problems at all, no base runners. You can tell he's calm, collected, he feels comfortable. I think he's got his grip on his fastball a lot better, at least have we noticed, at least, in the coming innings.
First pitch to lead off the bottom of the 5th is a strike at the knees. Update, by the way, on the Maple Mountain Murray game over on Channel 1 with Michael Goodkind on the call. Maple Mountain leads that one 9-2 in the bottom of the 4th. This one is down low and away for ball 1.
Yeah, these pitchers are having a lot more content approach. I think they're just trying to settle in here on the mound, Alex. Once you get more in-depth into the lineup and you kind of try to figure out each batter and, the pitches that they're tailored to their batting average, you kind of just grab a feel for, how good they actually are at the diamond.
Speaking of which, Sam Sevi is up in the bullpen now, right-hander for the Davis Darts. As Trost brings down the 1-2 pitch. That one is high and away, 2-2.
Just a subtle reminder that Corner Canyon has not had any activity in its bullpen either. They're putting, it feels like, complete trust in Jacob Trost, at least for the time being.
2-2 pitch. No, missed it. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I was going to bring this up in the 3rd inning, Alex, because I don't know if you noticed, but we can't really see if there's a pitch clock or not, or if they're going based off of, the seconds that a pitcher needs to throw.
Well, we do have a pitch clock. It's behind the home plate, though, down here, as we have a loose bat on the field. I have no idea how that came flying out of the bullpen, but that was not That was not very cool.
It is slick, so probably that's got to do something with the bat grip. Might want to get that retaped.
Yeah, Wyatt Horning just came out of there and was there as that one is ripped into left field. Is going to drop in for a base hit. Aggressive turn at first, running for second, and being able to get there without a throw is Max Hunter, the 4th base hit of the afternoon. And there's a runner on second now with nobody out. A leadoff double for Max Hunter. So I guess the loose bat on the field was a benefit after all.
Well, we were talking about the conditions of the field earlier, and towards the mid part of this game, Alex, you could tell that Drew Watcott, he was trying to play at least a little bit more content there in left field, just because he doesn't know. Once again, we're playing on turf, so he doesn't know if it's going to bounce, if it's going to kind of end in a certain way.
This one is hit into right field on the first pitch. Tagging and not running is Hunter. Marble flies out to right, and just like that, there's now one gone here in the bottom half of the 5th.
And people will probably say that playing on turf from grass doesn't exactly make a difference. And
it does make a difference.
That's because they're not the players, Alex.
Obviously. They're probably like the dumb media guys or something. Which would be us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Throw back to second, and just back in time there is Hunter. And Hunter has to readjust his oven mitt over at second rather.
And if you're Davis, this is again another good position that you want to be in. You got your DH coming up next.
And we just pointed it out too, Ty. 0 for 4, 0 for 3 RASP today for the Davis Darts. Pitch out attempt goes outside and wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Davis 0 for 3 RASP. Corner Canyon 1 for 7. The pitchers have really done their job here this afternoon, at least thus far. 1-0 pitch. That one is down and in. Good block by the catcher. Actually got the foot of the home plate umpire. And here comes the catcher, Ken Cotterall, to have a chat with his pitcher.
I think this is a good mound visit, too, Alex, to have with 1 out, runner on second. And like we mentioned, the DH Carter Knight coming up. I mean, what a season he's having. So I think you want to, as a catcher, kind of calm him down a little bit. Tell him, okay, just make sure we're getting our pitches correctly, that we're, trying to aim towards the waist, a little bit inside, because some of his pitches have kind of been a little bit on the outside, facing the right, at least in his perspective.
2-0 pitch. Look back at the runner at second. And that one is hit foul off to the left. And that goes onto the roof behind us, and so that means it's time for another Random Roof Reality after this pitch, presented by Any Hour Services. Ty's going to dig up from his piles of notes that he spent compiling at about 4 in the morning when he couldn't sleep. And after the Timberwolves knocked out the Nuggets in 7 games, as this one is lined into center and caught on the run, tagging and throwing in and getting there ahead of the throw is Max Hunter, but there's 2 gone.
Now hitting number 9, Carter.
And so, Ty, what you got for us now?
All right, Alex, take a guess at the fastest ever game of Major League Baseball. How long do you think it lasted?
Well, it was probably last year, and I'm going to say it was about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
You are incorrect. It is actually 51 minutes. Exactly. 51 minutes and 29 seconds was the fastest game ever played. And this was before the pitch clock, I'd like to point out.
51 minutes? You're serious?
Not even joking.
When was this?
1945.
Good golly. That was probably even before floodlights.
Yeah, right. Right during the World War.
This one is poked in the air out to right. This is going to be a tough play. This is going to fall in for a base hit. The runner will score from third. And a 2-out base knock, and the Davis Darts add another one on the board. They get 4 unanswered runs for DHS. They lead 4-2. And that is their first hit with runners in scoring position today. As Josh Godfrey is going to send a pinch runner out there and communicate that to the home plate umpire. What a big base knock, too, Ty, for the Davis Darts, because they have been struggling to get anything going on offense outside of the RBI triple. That's huge.
Well, it's not that they've been struggling. I feel like it's just Jacob Trost and his pitching ability that's been carrying him through these innings, and now Davis is becoming a lot more comfortable with their at-bats. They're kind of just breaking that barrier, at least. I mean, 5 hits, that's still nothing to sneeze at.
This one is ripped on the ground to third. They're going to go to short way for the force, and on one pitch, that's the end of the inning. But 1 run does score on 2 base hits, and there was a runner left on first base. We head to the top half of the 6th with the score now 4-2 in favor of the Davis Darts on the Rewind Sports Network. Bring you out of the break and look at the bullpen here for the Davis Darts. We got 2 arms up, a righty and a lefty. Jake Crowley, number 25 on the left, and you have the lefty Spencer Cannon now up in the bullpen for the Davis Darts. Alexander Timup alongside Ty Wilkinson. We get set to start the top half of the 6th inning with the Davis Darts leading 4-2. And Davis, we talked about, or rather both teams, Ty, we talked about those struggles with runners in scoring position. Davis able to make it count there in that bottom half of the 5th.
Davis finally breached that barrier. It was a 1-score game. I mean, just as far back as the 3rd inning. And now they finally kind of have a little bit of insurance that they're looking for, leading by over half the points that Corner Canyon has. So if you're Davis, I feel like you're in a more comfortable position. Again, we're still relying on the arm of Caleb Weaver to try to, close out these last couple of innings coming up. But, so long as you have that bullpen pressure, if anything goes wrong and it becomes a 1-run game, I feel like you can obviously rely on your bullpen and those lefties.
Now, Ty, I should point out, our Random Roof Reality presented by Any Hour Services, the one you dug up before we went to break, was the fastest MLB game was 51 minutes and 29 seconds.
Exactly 51 minutes
and
29 seconds.
How in the world is that possible?
That's a very good question. I'm going to assume very good pitching? Or maybe they just...
What was the score of that game? Do we know what the score of that game was?
Well, I'll dig that up for you. Let's do that.
I was about to say,
inning.
we need to dig that up, because if it's 51 minutes, it sounds like it was a 1-0 game. As we have a pinch hitter here to start the top of the 6th inning for the Chargers, Ryland Dunn is now in to start against Caleb Weaver. So Jeff Urey trying to find some sort of offense. As the first pitch from Weaver is down in there for a strike. And we have movement finally up in the bullpen for the Corner Canyon Chargers. Couple of righties now warming up. Good catch by our cameraman Josh Dodge. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed, strike 2. This Corner Canyon trying to get something going. They've only had 1 hit in the last 2 innings. 0-2 pitch. Just missed the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
So I found it, Alex. New York Giants versus Philadelphia Phillies. The score was 6-1, and it took 51 minutes, and happened on September the 29th of 1945.
That one hits Ryland Dunn up and in on the ribs, and I have to say, Ty, are you kidding me? 6-1 in 51 minutes.
I don't know how that's possible. And it was 9 innings too.
I don't understand. 6-1 in 9 innings. I mean, that's unbelievable.
It's unheard of.
That is unheard of. As Ryland Dunn is going to come out, and boy, he looks very shaken up. As we're going to get a pinch runner out there to replace him. And it was supposed to be the guy he was replacing, Ryland Dunn, at second base, now has to come back in. Because Cash Conchar now has to come back in and run for him. So the second baseman pinch hitting, or the double switch, lasts only 1 batter. As that one is down at the knees for a strike. Nathan Horseman, the cleanup batter, represents the tying run here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Corner Canyon Chargers. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Weaver. 7 Ks on the afternoon to his ledger. High and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
you can just feel the tension from here of the Corner Canyon dugout.
It is dead quiet over here right now. You cannot hear anything.
Everyone is on the rail, quite literally. Like, every single player is super content in this game.
Quick throw over to first. Conchar back in.
And, I mean, how can you not be?
It is 6A, after all. Anything can happen.
Tensions are at its high.
Runner on first, nobody out. 1 ball, 1 strike to the second baseman, Nathan Horseman. That one is high. 2-1. And now you start to wonder, Ty, when does the fatigue factor start to become evident for these starters?
Exactly, and I mean they've pitched so well. I feel like these past few innings. I mean, only holding a team to 2 and 4 points, especially in 6A. I should say runs instead of points, but 6A. That's like, I shouldn't say frowned upon, but that's considered a really, really good start for these pitchers, especially since they haven't played, lineups with depth that Corner Canyon and Davis provide.
Yeah, and especially the talent level, too. I mean, you can't forget about talent. I mean, the talent is just stacked up and down this division. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High pop-up. And that is coming over near us onto the roof. And it falls in front of us, so that means it's another Random Roof Reality presented by Any Hour Services, our 4th one of the day.
You gonna get tired of me saying these yet?
Hey, we got stuff to burn right now, buddy. 2-2 pitch coming to Horseman. Third baseman trying to get on and move his buddy Cash Conchar over a couple of bags. 2-2 pitch is ripped into left field, and that's going to be a base hit. Aggressive turn at first and second. And Horseman does his job. And there are now 2 runners on with nobody out here in the top half of the 6th. And before we hit Andrew Nice here, the first baseman, Ty, what do you got?
All right, so something interesting here, Alex, is take a guess when high school implemented that players could use wooden bats.
Well, we're gonna have to hold off on that for a second because Josh Godfrey is out of the dugout here, and he is making a motion, I believe, toward the bullpen. And yes, indeed, we are gonna have a pitching change. That's all for Caleb Weaver. He goes 5+ and 7 strikeouts. There will be a pitching change. We'll be back in just a second on the Rewind Sports Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Davis Darts. It's the left-hander Spencer Cannon. Alexander Timop alongside Ty Wilkinson as we get set for a big stretch here in the top half of the 6th inning. 2 runners on, nobody out. And the lefty Spencer Cannon is up to face Andrew Nice, the first baseman. Before we do that, though, it's time to present our 4th Random Roof Reality presented by Any Hour Services today. Ty, you were talking about high school wooden bats, correct?
Correct.
When they were allowed to use wooden bats. Well, of course, they don't use them now.
Well, so in 1924 was when the metal bat was invented. They actually didn't start using it in games until 1970. So why don't you take a guess for high school when they allowed wooden bats to kind of be used?
When they allowed wooden bats to be used in the game before the metal bats?
Correct.
I'm gonna probably say if it's 1924 when the wooden bats came out, I'm gonna say probably before that. I would say 1910, maybe.
It was 1912.
Oh man, I was close.
Yeah, you were actually
I was close.
You were 2
I was
years
pretty
off.
close. 2 years off. We'll get to more on that in a second. Here's the first pitch from Spencer Cannon to Andrew Nice, and misses away and low. 1 ball, no strikes.
So this is where the lefty aspect of a pitcher has to come into play, because you got runner on first, runner on second, no outs in a 2-score game.
And you have the tying run on first, and you have the go-ahead run represented at the plate by Nice as this one bounces up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And you can feel the tension here in Miller Park. I mean, everybody is dead quiet on both sides of the stadium. 2-0 pitch, misses. 3 balls and no strikes.
That glove pop just echoes throughout the park. That's how eerily quiet it's gotten.
And now 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Cannon needs to throw a strike. And he can't. 4-pitch walk. And the bags are full of blue. And now the tension really ratchets up. As we're going to have a pinch hitter here, Logan Nordhoff. And Josh Godfrey is out of the dugout again. And I wonder if he's going to make a move for the right-hander, Jake Crowley. And he will. So Spencer Cannon lasts only one batter, and the only batter he faces, he walks. Jake Crowley now must get Davis out of the jam. The bags are full of Chargers. We'll be back. Well, buckle up, folks. Here we go. Jake Crowley is out of the bullpen after Spencer Cannon walks the only man he faces. And it'll be up to number 25. Actually, it's not him. I'm sorry. That's Croydon Christensen. That's Croydon Christensen, excuse me. That's now on the mound. Number 19. Who will have the task of getting Davis out of this monster jam. Bases are loaded. Nobody out in the top half of the 6th inning. The tying run is at second. The go-ahead run is at first. And Ty, this... You and Josh and I were just talking about it just a second ago, or you and Josh were talking about it during the commercial. This just got really interesting really fast.
Indeed. It was honestly before our eyes. Like we were talking about the rooftop ringer, and I kind of got away from the game for a little bit. I was like, holy cow. First and second, 4-pitch walk. We got ourselves a ball game.
Should we call it that from now on? I think that's a better name for it, the random rooftop ringer.
Random rooftop ringer, the RRR.
The triple R, yeah. It was already a triple R, but now it's...
now it's an even better triple R.
It's a better triple R. Better one than I came up with.
We go on the fly here at Sports Rewind, don't we?
Well, here we go. Logan Norderhoff now with the bags full of blue in a big spot. Bases loaded. Nobody out. 4-2 game, and the first pitch is on the corner for a strike, and a big one.
And it goes from cheers to eerily quiet.
It is dead silent now on the 1-0 pitch. Just a little high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
In the words of the great Earl Weaver, I'd rather you walk with the bases loaded. I think head coach
Jeff
Canyon.
Urey would take that, as this one's going to pop up onto the roof again and roll right off the top of the tarp into the first row. Well, we would do a random roof ringer, but this is way too important.
Getting a little too content.
The 1-2 pitch. Missed it high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just a reminder, there is no outs with the bases loaded, so anything can happen here. A triple play is always an option, too.
2-2. To right field. Base hit. That'll bring home 1. They're going to wave the second runner. The slide, the throw. He is safe. And this game is tied. Conchar scores from third. Horseman from second. And we have a brand new game.
Horseman had some Amazon shipping in those legs from second because he was getting home in less than a minute. Holy cow, Alex.
That's a Ron Washington type of send right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ron Washington does that kind of a send. That is aggressive.
Yeah, he had
from head coach Jeff Urey down at third.
He had some Amazon Prime on those legs because he was home and the package delivered.
Tied at 4 now in the top of the 6th. First pitch is inside the corner for a strike. And there's still nobody out. For Jack Munson, who had the RBI single.
You almost wonder if it's a good move to bring in the right-hander from the lefty, too.
And look at this, trying to go to the sacrifice squeeze. Instead, they go pitch out, and it's 1-1.
These infielders, man, they have no fear. Grant Wally comes pretty much right into the batter's box.
I mean, Wally Grant is literally almost next to the batter. Look how far he's coming in here.
And then he creeps in even closer.
There he goes. That's a drop bunt over to first. Is the throw. And they're going to say he's safe.
And we'll do it again.
And once again, the bases are loaded.
Now hitting number 3, Drew Watcott.
Drew Watcott now hits. As Munson tries to gather himself over at first. I will say this though, Ty. I don't know if he hit the glove, but it looked like he tried to hit the ball out of the glove of Wally Grant over there at first.
I think so. It looked like the motion was that way.
It looked like he was trying to hit the ball out of the glove, and the umpire didn't see it.
Either that or he was dodging. I think he got away with one, though.
We're going to have to watch the replay as this one is ripped into right field. That's going to be big-time trouble. One run will score. Here comes the second. They're going to stop the runner at third. 2 more runs score, and the Chargers have the lead again.
Now hitting number 27, Tanner McKay.
This was a 2-4 game coming into the top of the 6th. It is now 6-4 in favor of Corner Canyon.
And now you hear the chant of "Let's go Chargers." This one is high and outside, 1 ball, no strikes, and there are still nobody out. And runners now on second and third. 4 runs have scored on 4 hits here in this inning. 1-0 pitch is way outside, 2-0. And now what do you do here if you're Davis?
Alex, I was going to say the same thing. You got to wonder if making the move to switch out the left-hander for the righty was the right opportunity, because Corner Canyon's catching every little bit.
That's on the corner for a strike. I mean, if you're Croydon Christensen, I mean, you're just looking for anything to get you out of this jam right now. I mean, even just a fly ball would do you wonders here. Here's the 2-1. This one is fouled off to the left and over to University Parkway. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drew Watcott, the 2-run double.
And this
Following
is
another 2-run, that was preceded by another 2-run double.
This is not the situation you want for Davis, too, with third and second.
This one, did he go? Second base umpire, third base umpire, they're all looking. I thought he went, and he did. There was no argument from...
Might be a little bit of delay over there.
Yeah, there was no argument from Tanner McKay either, Mackey either, so...
Now hitting number 11,
I think he knew.
County.
But either way, it's a big out that finally at least stops the bleeding for now. But there's still runners on second and third with the infield in. Here comes the pitch from Christensen. This one is chopped to first and foul.
You mentioned it too, Alex, the infield being in. They're trying to prevent the runner from even scoring. I mean, there's not even a force out at home, but they're just trying to get, at least an opportunity to keep it as a 2-score game going into the bottom of the 6th.
0-1 pitch. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll have our random roof ringer coming up at the top half of the 7th, or bottom half of the 6th starts because, of course, of this great action we're seeing here. As this 1-1 pitch is hit up the middle and through. 2 more runs will score. A 2-run single. It is 8-4.
Pandemonium.
6 runs now have scored in this inning. And Josh Godfrey, an exasperated Josh Godfrey, has seen enough. And he's going to make the move for the bullpen and relieve Croydon Christensen. 6 runs have scored on 5 base hits. Is there more to come? Corner Canyon thinking upset. They lead 8-4 on the Rewind Sports Network. We'll try to apply the tourniquet to the bleeding here for the Davis Darts. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson, 6 runs have scored in this top of the 6th. And Ty, you and I were talking about it. There is a pitch count cap in high school baseball here in Utah. You have to wonder if that was a factor in why Josh Godfrey decided to pull Caleb Weaver after 5+ innings.
I feel like that would be a very valid reason, and you can see just on the scoreboard in left field just how big of a factor that was and paid dividends. I mean, Weaver, an unbelievable pitching appearance, and I guarantee, Alex, that has to do something with it, because there was a lot of full counts, a lot of, at-bats that required more pitches than necessary, I feel like. And I think Weaver just got up there in the count, and they put the reliance into the hands of the relievers. And ever since, Corner Canyon has just been tearing apart this bullpen.
Well, the rain has started to fall again here at Miller Park. It's a light sprinkle right now. You can't really see it in our camera.
Much to the chagrin of Davis baseball right now.
Exactly. It has also warmed up a bit. It's 52 degrees now with 71% humidity, but it is still very, very wet here in Provo, Utah, as the heavens have opened up, literally and figuratively, for the Corner Canyon Chargers. As that first pitch from Sevi is in there for a strike. This inning started with a hit by pitch on Ryland Dunn. In the 1-0 pitch is down low again for ball 1. If Florence Ryder, past Florence Ryder here, when Conchar comes up, the Chargers will have batted around in this 6th inning. They will have sent all 9 men to the plate. Sevi, throw back to first in time, is downing.
Just a reminder, too, this is Davis's 4th pitcher that
In
they've
this
gone
inning,
through.
and 3rd in this inning alone, yes. As now the rain starts to pick up a little bit here. 1-1 pitch is tapped weakly in front of the mound, picked up by Sevi. Throw to first in time. And there are finally 2 out here in the top half of the 6th, and that will bring up Cash Conchar, and that means Corner Canyon's batted around here in this 6th. 9 men have come to the plate. 9 men have come to the plate. 6 runs have scored on 5 base hits. Runner on second with 2 out. And the pitch bounces up to the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
I'd like to point out, too, Alex, coming into this inning, that Davis had at least half the points that Corner Canyon did, and that has quite literally flipped the script as it's 8-4. So Davis leading by Corner Canyon leading by over half of what Davis even confired so far.
I mean, it was 4-2 in the bottom of the 5th. I mean, we thought it was an insurmountable lead. 1-0 pitch. Whoa, look out. High and inside behind the head. That's dropped down at second. Throw to third, and they got him. Downing tried to be a little too aggressive. And finally, that ends the inning. 6-run score, 5 base hits, no errors as the Chargers bat around, and they've opened up an 8-4 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Rewind Sports Network. Well, don't blink, folks, because you'll definitely miss it. 6 runs, 5 hits in the 6th inning for the Corner Canyon Chargers. They now lead 8-4 as they bat around in the top half of the 6th. Alexander Timolip alongside Ty Wilkinson. Jacob Trost, as you see there, still out for the bottom of the 6th inning, Ty. And you have to say, he has done an amazing job at keeping this Chargers team in the game.
He's done an incredible job, and I think he just has that reliance. And you got to be comfortable if you're him. But once again, I'm wondering if Corner Canyon is going to have the same thing that happened to Davis. And that's if Truce can, get up there in the pitch count, and you have to rely on your bullpen, because that was much to the chagrin of Davis. So, honestly, we don't have a pitch counter up here. I haven't been keeping track. I don't know about you, but if he's getting up there in pitches and they have to rely on the bullpen, Davis has just as equal as an opportunity that Corner Canyon did with their bullpen and their raking opportunity.
Seth Jarman, 9-1-2 to begin the bottom half of the sixth. Davis needs something, anything to stop this momentum, as that one is fouled back over the tarp. And that one hits the tarp support, so that technically hit the roof. So we're going to have a double here. A double random roof ringer here, presented by Any Hour Services.
As if we haven't had enough already.
We had already 4 today. A 1 pitch down in the dirt. All right, Ty, do the first one. What's the first one you dug up?
So let's do this. While baseball initially started in the U.S., it has spread worldwide.
We know that.
Yes. Guess the country where baseball is most popular other than the United States.
Dang, I know Korea and Japan have to be up there. I know Korea and Japan, Cuba have to be up there for sure.
Well,
I'm going to say Mexico.
Alex, guess knowing me.
What do you mean guess knowing? Oh, guess knowing me. I think you mean guess knowing me and you. It's probably Japan, isn't it?
It is indeed Japan.
Yeah.
Japan.
I was thinking it could be one of those 3 countries.
Indeed, Japan has the largest pro baseball outside of the United States.
That's right. The Nippon Professional League, I believe it is. That's ball 4, and Jarman will trot over to first, and so the Davis Darts get a leadoff runner. So maybe something starting here for the Darts here in the bottom of the 6th. As, once again, Josh Godfrey comes out of the dugout. Tyson Baggett will once again replace Seth Jarman.
How'd you like that little Easter egg for you?
That was a pretty cool one.
Little mission call action for you?
Well, mission call meaning you and me, one return missionary, one soon-to-be missionary,
Yep.
Yes. One Japan, Tokyo South, that's you, and then me, Kobe, of course. You'll be in good hands, of course, with the Yomiuri Giants over there. They're the most popular team, and their biggest rival, of course, in my mission is, as that pitches in for a strike, the Hanshin Tigers.
No kidding.
Yes.
You don't say.
The Giants and the Tigers. It's Tokyo. It's technically Yomiuri Giants. But, of course, everybody says Tokyo Giants, which, of course, is not correct. They're not technically the Tokyo Giants. As the 0-1 pitch is outside and low, as Baggett will have to track back over to first.
So now Jacob Troost, I mean, he's been comfortable just these past couple innings. He's getting a little bit away from him ever since this rain has started picking up. You wonder if that plays a factor into his pitching.
And we saw that in the first inning, too, remember? Like, we saw how the rain was having an effect on his hand. He was wiping it every time. As this one is ripped foul over the right side in the Helaman Halls.
I know what it's like playing in these rainy games, too. It's not fun, and it's not easy.
Well, let's put it this way. You and I would have played in sub-80-degree weather and 80% humidity, Mr. Wilkinson.
Yep.
We play in completely different conditions than in 40-degree weather with cold rain. In the second month of, next to last week of May, as that one is fouled off to the backstop to the left.
I think the only difference between you and me is I would have probably 2 times the more lightning than you would in your games. I could be wrong. I actually don't know. Seems like you're a little furious about that comment.
A little?
Yep. You don't get tornadoes in Hawaii, do you?
No, we don't. No. Well, we do. We do, actually. We do get tornadoes, but it's on the very rare occasion we do get tornadoes. We did get one. I think we actually did get one last February. I think I'll have to talk to my parents about that one. If my parents are watching, my dad or my mom is watching, please tell me if I'm wrong or not that we had a tornado on Kauai last year. As the 1-2 pitch is outside, check throw back to first, and in time is Baggett.
You know, that's who should be our statistician is Mr. and Mrs. Tumalip from all the way in Hawaii.
No. We're not going there. I don't know if my dad's even awake right now. That's the problem. I know my mom's working, but I don't know if my dad is. Maybe your parents could do it. 2-2 pitch is poked to right field, and that's a base hit. Turning for third is Baggett. He will get there ahead of the throw. And that means there are runners at the corners with nobody out. And the Davis Darts do have the traffic they so desperately needed, and now it's about getting it home because Ty, as we continually point out, they are 0 for 3 today with runners in scoring position.
They are 0 for 3, and it looks like we're getting a little conference at the mound.
Yeah, here comes Jeff Erie out to the mound. And the way that Jacob Trost is shaking hands, I believe that is going to be it. It is.
Corner Canyon, look at them. They're giving him the recognition he deserves, too. You talk about respect out of the dugout.
We have a pitching change here at Miller Park. The Davis Darts threatening once again. Florence goes from the infield to the mound now in a big spot. Runners at the corners in an 8-4 game. Anything's still possible. Alexander Timop alongside Ty Wilkinson here at Larry H. Miller Field on this cold, rainy day here in Provo, Utah. Well, Ty, we're about to find out. I mean, you did say if Jacob Trost did get pulled during this inning, we were about to find out how good this Corner Canyon bullpen is. Here we go.
It's a very similar situation that Davis had with their bullpen and bringing them in. We'll see if Ryder Florence has the opportunity in him to close this one out, because this is a big inning. You got runners on the corners and no outs, and this is pretty much just like the opportunity that Davis has. But Alex, one thing I do want to touch on is now that Florence isn't playing shortstop, that gives a lot of opportunity to the Davis hitters for, the substitution out there.
Second in the order, Owen Talbot. He'll be followed by Wally Grant and cleanup hitter Max Hunter. First pitch is hit toward the right field line. Is that fair? No. Foul. It was swinging down the right field line, just foul. One strike.
About 3 feet away from the line, and this is a 6-8 game off of the first pitch. And the rain has picked up.
Yes, it has. It really has picked up. This is a pretty good shower we're having right now. It's not a heavy shower. It's just enough to annoy the players right now. 0-1 pitch. Inside and high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on the corners. Nobody out. Bottom half of the 6th, 8-4 Corner Canyon. They batted around and sent 9 men to the plate, scored 6 of them on 5 base hits in the top of the 6th, and the Darts now threatening to answer back. 1-1 pitch. He swings and misses that one, strike 2. This is a big pitch coming up here.
Florence has the fastball in his itinerary, and boy, does he use it often, too. You've seen in previous games past that he's breaching close to around 91 miles an hour.
The 1-2 pitch. Tries to go high and away, get him to chase. He does not. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And if you're Davis, you got to be at least a little bit comfortable in the driver's seat, because now you have to take the content approach, especially with 0 outs and runners on the corners.
2-2. Popped up foul. And that is going to go over the stands. Well, just lands inside the stands over there where those 2 fans are standing. Runners at the corners. 2-2. Nobody out. Bottom of the 6th. Here it comes. Down low and in, and the count goes full, 3-2.
He's trying to get him to chase outside of the zone.
Yeah,
it's not working for him.
Yeah, but he's not biting. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on the corners with nobody out in an 8-4 game. Doesn't feel like one. Time called by the hitter.
Good news for Davis is this is once again the top of your lineup. And we saw how much damage they did on the base path closer in the 3rd inning, putting up a 3 spot. So we'll see if the bat actually comes into contribution this time.
This one is hit on a soft line. Glove down at second. Runners back in at their positions. But either way, that's a big first out.
That is absolute best case scenario for Corner Canyon.
And what a great play by Cash Conchar over at second base, coming in a few steps on the soft line drive. And now here comes Wally Grant. Grant Max Hunter, Jackson Marble. Jackson Marble, of course, with the triple. Back in the third. First pitch is down and in. 1 ball, no strikes.
Do you kind of feel like you're in a movie watching this game, Alex? I mean, overcast skies.
And now the rain
down.
is becoming biblical. Well, by Hawaii standards, it's becoming biblical now. You can't really see it in the camera. 1-0 pitch. Down low again, 2-0.
You guess this eerie feeling. I mean, the lights are on now. It's a little too dark for the cloud cover that we're playing in. And reminder that the weather has not been like this for at least 2 weeks. It's been pretty sunny and rather in like the 78-degree temperatures.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow, which is the weird thing.
What a difference a day makes.
2-0 pitch is down low again. 3 balls and no strikes now.
Florence doing the same thing that Jacob Truce did earlier in the innings, continuously wiping his hand off as the rain picks up.
3-0 pitch, taking all the way, strike 1. Three-one pitch coming. Runners on first and third. Hit to right. Base hit. That's going to score the runner from third. And the Darts do pick up a monster run. And they have cut the lead to just 3. As up steps Max Hunter, Wally Grant comes through again.
Here's another huge righty versus righty matchup. You get your cleanup guy with runners on first and second in a 3-score game.
Jackson Marble stands on deck. He of the RBI triple back in the third inning. That gave Davis the lead. First pitch coming to Max Hunter. Over his head of the curveball. 1 ball, no strikes.
And I'll keep going back to it. Ryder Florence just keeps wiping his hand down, Alex. He's trying to get a good grip on the ball. We talked about how the aspect of, moisture being in the air can actually help a baseball player. Well, rain can only do so much to actually help.
1-0 pitch. Hit in the air to left on a soft line. That is caught out there and left. Sprinting in and making the catch is Watcott. And that's a biggie because now there's 2 out. With runners on first and second.
Tell you what, Watcott's been busy, but he's been making the moments count. I feel like every hit that he's been out or hit out to him, he gets a fly out.
So here comes Jackson Marble, who's 1 for 3 today with an RBI triple back in the third inning. He's got a runner on second and a runner on first. Marble represents the tying run in this game. Can it get any more dramatic an opening than what we've had here this morning or this afternoon now? That pitch is on the corner for a strike.
Alex, I'm going to highly doubt this will be a 1:30 start time for the next game coming up.
Well, I did tell you, right, when we came on, we were gonna have an expected start time of 1:30, but we're gonna be pushing.
We are gonna go
almost 2 or 2:30 here.
We still got 3 games left after this one. We're gonna go late into the evening.
But this is what you want. This is what you want. Championship scenario, as home plate umpire tries to give the runner or batter enough time to wipe down the visor. Here comes the 0-1. That's on the corner, strike 2. Big pitch right there from Florence, and now this is an even bigger one. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 runners on. Here it comes. And it's a pop-up to the right side, heading into the stands and foul. We'll do it again.
Florence is seizing the moment right now. You could tell the nerves were rather, I would say, getting to him, but I think he's kind of figured out his grip on his fastball. Because every pitch I feel like he's been throwing is low and in the zone.
The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out!
The Darts score 1 run on 2 hits.
The Darts score 1, but that's all they get. Ryder Florence seizing the moment and keeping the Chargers in front. We head to the top of the 7th with the score 8-5.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Well, take a look at that, folks. That's what we're playing in right now here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in Provo, Utah. Alexander Tumop alongside Ty Wilkinson. And Ty, this is the conditions that these players have had to deal with and are probably going to deal with all afternoon and all evening long because it's going to be a problem, but it's not a problem for the offenses to score right now. I mean, you talk about the heavens opening up. We've had the heavens open up for the offenses.
Well, you talk about the most scenic ballparks in probably all of the world, if not just the United States. But I would say all of the world. But theoretically, this is anyone's game right now, Alex, because 3-score game, you're bringing in your relievers to the point. So, I mean, starters did their job. And as we know, the bullpen and its unpredictability, Florence did an amazing job for Corner Canyon. But regardless, this game is still far from over, even we're getting into the closing innings of this ball game.
It'll still be Sam Sevi for the 7th inning here for the Davis Darts. And it'll be Cash Conchar to lead off the top of the 7th inning because he did not complete his at-bat when Downing was picked off at third base. The Chargers batted around in the 6th inning, sending 9 men to the plate, scoring 6 of them on 5 base hits. And that's been the difference in this ball game. First pitch from Sevi to lead off the 7th is down to the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Update, by the way, on the Maple Mountain Murray game. Maple Mountain victorious in game 1 of that, 9-2. As the next pitch is a 58-foot breaking ball down in the carpet. 2 balls and no strikes. Our next game after this will be Fremont against Mountain Ridge. It'll start about 30 minutes after this game ends. So we're assuming probably around 2:15 or 2:30 as the next pitch is in there for a strike.
It's a battle of relievers now, Alex. You can go to your bullpen, but just the unpredictability of it with the lineups that you're facing.
That's in there for a strike, 2-2. So Sam Sevi starting to settle in and find his rhythm. 2-2 pitch is down in the carpet. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That rolls to the backstop.
And we touched on this too earlier in the game, Alex, is these full counts, much to the chagrin of the pitchers, obviously the pitch count, but these full counts are what's making, the pitchers have to be a lot more content.
At least not there anyway. There's a strikeout. So 1 out here in the top half of the 7th inning now. Sam Sevi gets the 8th strikeout of the day for the Davis Darts pitching staff. 7 of them were by Caleb Weaver, but that's all seems a really long time ago when he was on his game. As Nathan Horseman, the third baseman, the cleanup hitter, now comes up, and he takes ball 1.
7 hits each for Corner Canyon and Davis.
But what really matters, Ty, is the ones that have come with the runners on.
Indeed.
As this one is chopped 2 hops over to the third base side, throw over to first in time. And there are quickly 2 gone here in the top half of the 7th.
Well, with the unpredictability that the infield turf provides, the infielders have managed to handle it very, very contently with short hops. I don't think we've seen one error, at least in the infield, regarding a hit or a ground out to any position tonight.
Now you did it.
Yeah, now I did
Now you did it. First pitch from Sam Sevi to the left-handed hitting Andrew Nice is down low, 1 ball, no strikes.
You forget sometimes as an announcer that you still have to deal with the said announcer's curse.
Yeah, Colton Potter still doesn't think it's a real thing. We think it's a real thing, as this one is flown in the air to left, not very far. Coming in and making the catch in a couple of steps is the left fielder Seth Jarman, and that ends the inning. So Corner Canyon gone in order in the top half of the 7th inning. Last chance coming up for the Davis Darts. They trail 8-5. They need 3 runs to extend this game. We'll have the bottom of the 7th next on the Rewind Sports Network. Buckle up for the bottom of the 7th. Davis starts with their last chance. Corner Canyon trying to pull off the upset to begin the opening round of the 6A baseball tournament. Alexander Timolip and Ty Wilkinson. Our coverage today is proud to be presented by Heinemann & Associates, the full-service law firm committed to winning for you, the client. Contact them today at 801-754-4240 or online at utah.law. For your free consultation, courtesy of the Rewind Sports Network. We're also presented by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered for all seasons. Use the promo code REWIND for 20% off your next order when you order from Igloo Outfitters today. That's IGLU Outfitters.
Well, who better to close out this inning than Florence Ryder?
Ryder Florence will get the ball to begin the 7th inning. And it'll be 6-7-8 to begin the bottom of the 7th for the Davis Darts.
Corner Canyon fans giving him some momentum, cheering him on.
Here comes the first pitch. This one is chopped to short on 2 hops. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a heck of a start. Good hands over there. Good hands over there by the backup shortstop, Lincoln Urie.
And I mean, shout out to Lincoln, too, on that play. You come into this game filling in for your pitcher, and what better play than to get 1 out into the closing inning.
First pitch on the way is a off-speed pitch up high to Carter Knight, the DH. 1-0 pitch on the way. Down low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. The win will officially go to Jacob Trost if this score holds. And the loss will be charged to Croydon Christensen. Or rather, the loss will be charged to Sam Cannon Spencer Cannon, as he was responsible for the runners that led to the score, as this ball is fouled up over the tarp. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Davis desperately trying to get traffic and survive this charge from Corner Canyon. No pun intended, by the way.
That was a good one.
2-2 pitch. Outside, count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
The rain just continues to either pound down or let up.
It's been off and on all day long. 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4. And now Wally Grant steps to the plate. Or rather, that's Gavin Jacks, the catcher will step to the plate.
Hitting for the Darts, number 3, Wyatt Horning.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here as Wyatt Horning will take over now. And I assume if we get to an 8th inning, he will take over the catching duties. One out here. Bottom of the 7th inning. 8-5. Runner on first. The pitch. Hit to the left side. Base hit! Past the diving third baseman. That gets by. That's going to get to the wall. Around third. And coming in to score is Carter Knight. The throw. Horning is able to get in there. And he is down. And he slid in hard on the turf. It'll officially go down as an RBI triple.
A subtle reminder, Alex, we're playing on turf and not dirt.
Yes. And you slide for a while, and while they attend to Wyatt Horning, we will quickly step aside. We'll be back after this.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Well, Wyatt Horning, thankfully, is up on his own power. He's okay. They're going to test him to make sure that he's not showing any signs of a concussion. Because, as we were talking, Alexander Timolov and Ty Wilkinson here. Ty, you were talking about how he slid far on the turf.
Yep.
And his head, and he looked like he hit his head and jammed his neck on the base.
Yeah, it's not exactly the sight you want to see. We keep mentioning this turf to grass transition that they are trying to get used to, especially in the tournament. When you're coming in flying and you're sliding in with that turf, you're going to go a lot further than wet dirt, to say the least. So I think he kind of overestimated his slide. But he's up and he's moving, and it looks like they're not going to get a pinch runner for him, so he's going to be the reliability out in third.
So Seth Jarman now with the opportunity to bring Horning in. An RBI triple by Wyatt Horning, and it makes it an 8-6 game here in the bottom of the seventh. First pitch is down low, ball one.
So if Davis can get this run across, it'll be a one-run game and bridge the gap.
There's a ground ball to second. Throw to first is in time. They will not advance the runner. And on that, the Davis Darts are down to their final out this afternoon. By the way, that was scored officially as a base hit and an error, so it goes down as an RBI double, not a triple for Wyatt Horning. And the top of the order, Caleb Weaver, is the last chance representing the tying run for Davis. First pitch, foul to the screen.
I'm confused by the choice to not send the runner, Alex, because worst case scenario is you get that run across and you make it a one-run game. And now you lose your chance, and now you're staring at the eyes of fate with two outs.
0-1 pitch. He swings and misses, and the Davis Darts are down to their final strike this afternoon. Well, this is where the Kanab Cowboys were. Down 2 runs with 2 outs, down to their final strike. 0-2 on the corner, misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wyatt Horning is at third. Caleb Weaver represents the tying run. Jacob Trost in line for the victory. The 0-2 pitch. Foul to the right. And into Helaman Halls.
This is the most noise I think I've heard from the crowd all night. I think Corner Canyon is getting a little ready to celebrate here.
Will they? Hit in the air to center. Game over! The Corner Canyon Chargers pull off the upset, 8-6. Leaning on a 6th-run, 6th inning, which saw them score 6 times with 9 batters on the plate on 5 base hits. And the Region 2 team knocks out the number 2 seed. Well, Ty, what a start we had.
Talk about kickoff. Holy.
I mean, what a game we've had. And now it's time to name our Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game. Presented by Heidemann & Associates, the full-service law firm that is dedicated to winning for you, the client. Ty, there are so many people we could choose from this afternoon. But when it comes down to it, we are going to give the nod. I mean, we're gonna give the nod. We're gonna get a nod to Jacob Trost. I mean, he single-handedly kept this Corner Canyon team in the game for all he could. And when they finally broke through in that 6th inning, that was when they finally broke through.
Not just in the pitching battle, but also in the batting battle as well. I mean, once again, you get down. They were down 3-2 at one point. They're actually down 4-2 at one point. Jacob Trost stayed content. He knew his opportunities that he wanted to. He had a really good punch-out inning. And I mean, you know, Davis going punch for punch, getting 1 run every inning since. But the fact that he was able to contain that offense, as well as they've been all year, Alex, they shut him down.
I mean, look at that scoreboard that Josh Dodge is putting up. That's the difference. You see that six spot in the 6 by Corner Canyon, the 3 spot by Davis. That was what was the difference here in this ball game. And you have to say, for Corner Canyon, what an amazing start for them.
I mean, you pull off an upset. You're the lowest seed coming into this bracket tournament starting today, and you managed to knock off the number 2 team, Davis. And I mean, you can't ask for a better start if you're Corner Canyon. And
Well,
we were thinking too, Alex, closer to the 5th inning, like this is either going to come down to a run-run game. Turns out to be the case. 6 runs in the 6th. Unbelievable.
4 for 10 Corner Canyon was with runners in scoring position. Davis just 1 for 8 today with runners in scoring position. That does it for us for now. Game 1 is done, Ty. I hope you enjoy your break because you got 2 more games coming up after. And if anything is indicated to as of this game, we're in for a treat the rest of today.
You forget, I'm working camera, so we're working all 4 today, Alex.
That's true. We are working
Yep.
extra all 4 today. Thanks to Josh Dodge on the camera. He'll take over color for the 2nd game coming up. We invite you to stay tuned for more KSL Sports Rewind coverage of UHSAA baseball continuing now and championship week as it continues across our networks. For now, for Ty Wilkinson and Josh Dodge, I'm Alexander Timolip. Thank you for joining us for this special presentation of the UHSAA baseball playoffs on KSL Sports Rewind. The final score, Corner Canyon 8, Davis 6. We'll be back with Game 2 in just a moment.